So Winston's a bum. I don't like him.
Right. My point is, but he get fair shots.
Carson Wentz got cut. He got traded from the Eagles. He showed that he's a bum. The Colts let him go after. Hold on. Listen to me. He got traded from the Eagles to the Colts. He was there for 1 year. They cut him because he's a bum. He went to the Redskins, played 1.5 years. They cut him because he's a bum. I'm agreeing with you. But what I'm saying is there's plenty of players in this NFL, NBA, whatever. I'm not talking about how they cut him. I'm talking about the product he has put on the field. He turns the ball over too much. That's what I'm saying. Okay. He's a turnover machine. Okay. And he doesn't pass for a high passer percentage. He's not going to help you. He's going to hurt you. What I'm saying is Geno Smith may not have the accolades. If you ask me this, if I go back 8 years, yes, Jameis Winston is better than him as far as talent. But what I've seen Geno do after sitting on the bench for the last 7 years to come in Seattle and to get them in the playoffs with the same weapons that Russell Wilson had, and Russell Wilson was having issues, that's all I'm saying. Geno Smith had like 27 touchdowns, like 5, 6 interceptions, 7 interceptions. He didn't put the ball in certain situations that Jameis Winston does. I'm talking about strictly on the field, not the business, just on the field play.
Yeah, on the field. They were shitting on Geno Smith the same exact way you are. You were shitting on Geno Smith. I told you that. I said Geno Smith is all right.
And I said Geno Smith is better than Jameis Winston this season. I'm not talking about career.
I get that, but this is his 10th season.
This season he didn't play. Of course he's going to be better.
Right.
Jameis didn't play.
Exactly.
Bro, Jameis Winston played last year. You saw his stats. He played the year before that. You saw his stats. He's trash. The dude threw 33 interceptions 1 year. What are you talking about?
And it's Geno Smith is 32.
Okay.
He got the right opportunity.
Jameis Winston been in the league 8 years. You act like Geno Smith been in the league 20 years. He has 2 more years than him. Winston been in the league 8 years.
That's my point, dog.
What does years have to do with what you do on the field?
Not years.
On the field.
No, listen, you saying a whole totally different argument. All I said was they didn't give him a fair shot. I'm saying, once again, you cut him in while he was injured. You can make that face all you want. Geno Smith got a fair shot, and he proved that he still can play. Jameis Winston still quarterback.
So the year that Jameis Winston played in Tampa, when he was the starter, and he led the NFL in touchdowns. And hold on, that was 2 years ago. 2.5 years. Now listen to me. What I'm asking you is listen to me. You're saying he didn't get a fair shot. So the year when he was getting praised for leading the NFL in passing touchdowns,
bro,
that he led the league in passing touchdowns, and he led the league in turnovers. That was his last year in Tampa, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when so when he went to the New Orleans Saints the next year, what happened?
I'm agreeing with all that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying this year, I said they did not give him a fair shot this year. I'm not disagreeing with 2 years ago, 8 years ago. I'm saying this year. I'm saying last year, they did him dirty. We can say whatever we want to say. They cut that man while he played with bruised ribs, went on the injury, and they cut him. I just said they did him dirty.
Okay.
Yeah, NFL is different. Like, every sport is like that, but NFL is different, bro, to me. Like Geno, all these guys are an example. If you don't have the right team around you, unless you're a superstar top 3 quarterback, it's different. You need the right team around you and the right opportunity.
Does Jameis Winston belong on the NFL roster?
As a backup, yes.
All right, I'm not saying a strong quarterback.
I'm not saying take the man job from him. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I don't want a man to have a job. That I'm not talking about that. That's what I'm talking about. On the field play. Remember, in sports, it's not what you did, it's what you did lately. They don't care about, that's how it is. That's what I'm saying. It's a business. You could be the franchise player and they're going to cut you. Look what the Knicks did to Patrick Ewing and so on and so forth. It happens all the time. But what I'm saying, when I saw Jameis Winston, I've been watching Jameis Winston since Florida State when he won the Heisman. I know Jameis Winston. I've been watching him for a long time, and that dude is a turnover machine.
Hold on to it, but it's also politics, right? Because Jameis Winston, the guy in college that was getting in trouble doing facility
he
shit,
did
right?
a lot of stuff. He did a lot of stuff.
Do we know anything?
All right, can I say this?
Yeah.
I caught a couple Saints games in New Orleans. My peoples live out there. I'm always on the phone with them. I'm telling you, whatever quarterback that they had, that white dude, they do not like him.
Wow.
The 2 games I went
Andy Dalton is trash.
The 2 games I went to, they were screaming, put Winston in the game. So I'm not saying Winston is a starter. I'm not saying, all I said was, my only opinion was, I love the Saints. I love New Orleans. That's a great city because I got people out there and they treat me good. But what the Saints did to Winston, to me, wasn't fair. It's no way in the world. What's the dude from the Bengals you just said?
Andy Dalton.
Terrible. So when we talk about terrible, to me, that's the definition of terrible. Andy Dalton.
Nah, there's a lot of worse. There's worse quarterbacks worse than Andy Dalton. We know what it's about in the NFL, just like with the coaching. Like it's just the same thing. These white quarterbacks get a lot of opportunities, X, Y, and Z, same as the coach. But what I'm talking about, if you go on the field and your play is not good, and you come to another team and your play is not good, and you get hurt, it's a business. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. If he stays on the roster and Derek Carr goes down and Jameis Winston comes in, then we can see what he can do. It's all about opportunity. All I'm saying is Geno Smith took his opportunity and he actually looked like a decent quarterback. Because I'm saying it's not like he had more talent than Russell Wilson. He had the same people and he looked better than Russell Wilson did. That's all I'm saying. I'm talking about this season. Geno Smith, I've been watching him since I think he went to like some college in Florida or something. Where he went? Virginia. He went to Virginia, I think. I've been West Virginia. I've watched Geno Smith, but there's certain people have a ceiling, and for Geno Smith to be damn near out the league on your 4th, 5th team, and just to come in this particular time, and now he's gonna get the bag because not a big bag, but he might get a large bag for what he just did. He didn't mess it up. He put them in a situation when they were winning. He had a couple of comeback victories. Wasn't he comeback player of the year?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying for that instance, for him to go through that, he should have been out the league as far as him bouncing around from team to team. Overall, Jameis Winston's ceiling was way higher than Geno Smith. Absolutely. But I'm just talking about what I've seen from Jameis these last 3-4 years.
The reason why I asked that, too, is because even that sounds like politics. Like when you bench someone that's not supposed to, when you start someone that's not supposed to be starting in football, that sounds like they tanking. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
But my thing with football, you got to be more patient with your plays in football to me than in any other sport. Winston, yeah, he was throwing a whole lot of intos, but he had some solid seasons in Tampa. Like I said, I'm not rooting for him. I'm a Giants fan, so I really don't care, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, you know, just call a spade a spade. Y'all be patient with every other quarterback. Just keep the same energy. But okay. I understand with Jameis why, you know, people.
I'm gonna ring off Jameis's stats from first year to where he's at now, including QBR and quarterback percentage. His first year as a starter in Tampa, he threw 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. He had a 58.3% completion rating. The next season, he had a 60.8. He threw 28 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. The next year, he threw 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. The next year, 19 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. The year I'm talking about in 2019, he threw 33 touchdowns with 30 interceptions. Then in 2021, because he got hurt in 2020, he had 14 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. And in 2022, he had 4 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. His quarterback completion for his career is 61%.
Now, all them years, he has make the playoffs any of them years?
I think they made the playoffs. I think he might have made the playoffs. Did they make the playoffs once in Tampa?
Season.
I think he made the playoffs one season.
Nah, he played in the playoffs and threw one pass attempt. But looks like in 2020. Yeah. For the New Orleans.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you look at overall body of work, that's what I'm talking about. Jameis Winston is not good. I'm not. And Geno. The only reason I like Jameis is because what I saw him do in college when he won the Heisman and he won that championship. He was cooking, but he was also a head case. But go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No. Now I like how you broke that down. Now this is my opinion. The first 4 years, the 33 innos is bad, but the first 4 years. The reason why I don't go ballistic and be like, because once again, he's a quarterback. You got to be patient with him. Now, I understand why they got rid of him for Tom Brady. I would have did that also. But now the stat you read off with the Saints, it clearly shows that they didn't believe in him. They didn't give him
But remember, his first year with the Saints, he was hurt, so he don't have any stats.
Right.
But when he came back, he played 7 games in 2021. His completion percentage was 59%. he threw 14 touchdowns. The next year, 2022, his completion percentage was 63%, but he only had 4 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
How many games?
So in basic, he played 3. So in 10 games, he had 18 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and his average completion percentage is like 60%. That's still not good.
Let me ask you a question. But the year he played 7 games and the year he played only 3 games, what was the reason for those minimum games?
He injury.
Okay.
So that's 3 straight years. But that's 3 straight years.
But that's 14-3.
But no, what I'm saying is that's 14-3, yes, but he only played 7 games. So what I'm saying is in those 3 seasons with the Saints, he's played 11 games in 3 seasons. That means he's been getting hurt a lot. So now that's why they're cutting him. He's injury prone on top of the turnovers. He's going into his 4th season with us. That's what I'm saying. He was there for 3 years, but he only has 11 games.
It sounds like politics, bro. It sounds like you saying
he's
both. Not. It is business. In Tampa, that's politics. Like you said, you would take Tom Brady and bring him in. I don't even know why. I forgot that Tom Brady went over there. In New Orleans, what are they doing? What's their record? They just signed. Who was it? Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Now, is that your point too? Is Derek Carr that much better than Jameis Winston? Because he's had a hard knock life.
Now, I think
Derek Carr is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback right now. Yes, Derek Carr is better than Jameis Winston. I'm not.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm just my point. I'm just saying. I just feel if it's injuries, okay, I understand, but I still think to a certain extent, Winston didn't get a fair shake. Now, do I think Derek Carr's an upgrade? Yes, I do. Yes, that's like I'd be an idiot to not like. That's when the person who gets in. Oh, I like no. Yes, Derek Carr is definitely an upgrade from Jameis Winston. I just hope he keeps the backup quarterback position because once again, as you can see, if you know football, meaning like the GMs and the guys behind the scenes, guys like Geno Smith should have never been out the league.
No, he wasn't out the league. He was just he was a backup.
Well, not out the league, but once again, didn't get a fair shake. And then when he got his fair shake, you see he can still play football. So I just hope, Jameis Winston gets a fair shake. I hope he gets healthy because I don't wish injuries on anybody. But to your point, Rose, yes, you have a point. Jameis Winston right now is a backup quarterback. And yes, Derek Carr is definitely an upgrade. So yes, I think the Saints did okay as far as quarterback. Yes.
But you pulling for him. You pulling. That's the whole point. So we
can
get this.
Hold on. I'm not pulling. All right. I'm not going to say I'm pulling for him because I'm a Giants fan. I'm not a Jameis Winston fan. I'm just saying I see other quarterbacks do way worse.
That's true.
And they get fair shots. So I just hope, like right now, he's a backup quarterback. He's not a starting quarterback. Let's just be realistic. He's not a starting quarterback.
So if he's not a starter, what fair shot are you talking about? He's been in the league 8 years, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's been in the league 8 years. His last 3.5 years, he's been injury prone. So that means he's getting older. There's plenty. We know that there's plenty of trash people. What I'm saying, Jameis Winston has no chance but to be a backup. That's why I said, let's say Derek Carr breaks his finger on his throwing hand, second game of the season, and Jameis Winston comes in and gets rolling. That's what you want to see. But if he goes in and it's the same old famous Jameis, it's going to be like, damn. That's what I'm talking about because I seen it. I seen the roller coaster. I seen the Jameis roller coaster, and he turns the ball over. Derek Carr, right? Listen to these numbers because you're getting someone who turns the ball over, but not as much. Derek Carr's career passing completion is 64.6. That's damn near 6-7 points higher than Jameis's. You're getting a guy
for the career.
For the career, like
Jameis at 61.
So it's like, and he's at 64. Well, I mean 5. He's at 64.6. So that's damn near going to 65%. So he's 4% higher than that. He has 99 interceptions. He also has 217 touchdowns. So he almost double his touchdowns to interceptions. You understand what I'm saying? Plus, he's been in the play before.
Winston's been hurt. You can't he almost didn't go to
Derek Carr's been hurt. Forget he tore his knee up in 2015, 16. So it's not when I'm saying that I'm not talking about injury. I'm talking about as far as turnovers should go down. That's why the Tampa got Tom Brady. Turnovers should go down, right? Turnovers should go down. You were just playing with Devontae Adams, so you had a receiver, so you know how. Derek, I like the way he throws the ball. He has a great arm, whatever. But he's a tick better than Jameis because of the turnovers and the passer completed. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's astronomically better. But if you could reduce turnovers, you have Alvin Kamara, you have a running game, so play action should be crazy, and Alvin Kamara could catch the ball. Hopefully, Michael Thomas comes back if you don't trade him. Now you went from Devontae Adams to Michael Thomas. That's not a bad number one wide receiver to have neither. Plus, your defense on the defensive side of the ball is better than the Raiders.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just leave it at this. My opinion: if Jameis Winston is healthy and you put a superstar team, defense and offense around him like they do all these other guys, I think he can have a solid season like Geno Smith. That's just my opinion.
But everybody don't have. Remember, you can't say that because this is where it gets tabooish. If someone's a superstar because the team drafted them, is that their fault, or is it when people go out and get free agents that superstars? Which one is it? If you're on the team, look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow got drafted. They drafted Jamar Chase. They drafted T. Higgins. They didn't get them for free agency. So that's not. And think about it. And then when you look on the defensive side of the ball, other than Hendrickson and they don't really have superstar linebackers and superstar corners. So if Jameis Winston is on the Saints, he had Kamara. He had Malcolm Thomas those 3 years. That's what I'm saying. He had talent around. It's not like he didn't have talent. You had guys around you. You had the defensive lineman. What's the defensive lineman, number 94? The dude on the Saints. You had him. You had the safety. You had a corner. You had a team. So it's not like Jameis had trash. Dog, what I'm saying is we can't go there because if someone's team is better because the team is just better because they drafted them, you're going to default them because that's business. That's when you have to look at the business side. Everyone's not going to have Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. Everyone's not going to have Terry Bradshaw and Lynn Swann. You understand what I'm saying? You got to work with what you work with sometimes. Look at Dan Marino. Dan Marino didn't have superstars. He was a superstar, but he still was able to get to a Super Bowl. He still was able to get in the playoffs, but he didn't have no superstar, and Dan Marino was a franchise player.
That's Dan Marino. Like, we're not going to even do that.
That's not what I'm talking. I'm not talking about stature. I'm talking about teams. You can't help what team you're on. We've seen teams with great teams lose. We've seen teams with horrible teams win. It don't matter. It's talent. And Jameis Winston is the quarterback. You're the leader of the team. You're at the number one position. So if you're bad, 9 times out of 10, the Ravens defense ain't coming around. The Chicago Bears defense ain't coming around. You have to depend on your quarterback.
Is this his first time backing up?
Jameis? No, He was a backup. He was a backup off and on in the Saints. He was a backup for a little while in Tampa, remember? Okay. He didn't start immediately. Remember they had Josh Freeman, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
See, Josh Freeman was another guy that was like that. Like he was mediocre. And,
Marcus Mariota, Tyrod Taylor. It's a whole bunch of them.
I remember Josh Freeman. But I like, he just needs an opportunity. If you're going to be a backup, this is proof like, as a quarterback, look at Geno, like we just said.
Look at Brock Purdy. Look at Brock Purdy on my team, the 49ers. This dude was the third string Mr. Irrelevant. And look what he did. He just so happened we have a great defense. Just so happened we have who we have. But you saw that this dude wasn't like Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo was a walking turnover. Purdy was out there looking sturdy. We was calling him Sturdy Purdy. You understand what I'm saying? Now he got the injury. Let's see what he looks like next year because that's different. He got an injury to his throwing arm. But when you saw the difference between him and Jimmy in there, you saw the difference. They was throwing the ball down the field more, less turnovers. Jimmy G, he does Jimmy G things.
And I'm gonna say this, and I've been saying this for a long time. Jimmy G getting a bad break too. They doing them dirty over there too.
Nah, get Jimmy G out of here. I'm sorry. Get Jimmy G out of here. You don't understand. I've watched Jimmy G. I've seen this guy do stuff, and I'm looking at him.
You're not the only one watching, bro.
Why are you doing that, bro?
I watch.
Like, why? Hold on, but why do you think he's getting a bad break?
What do you mean? Why? They didn't believe in him from the beginning. He got him to a Super Bowl. He got him to the game before. Like, my thing is this: you know the kind of quarterback you was getting. You being a player, if your team don't believe in you, if your coach don't believe in you, bro, that takes a toll on a person. I think Jimmy G is not as bad as people making him out to be, and I don't think he got a fair shake. I think that coach in San Francisco is overrated. So this is why I think Jimmy G is not getting a fair shake. Now, should they get rid of him? Hey, do what you want to do. But when he's on the field, when he's playing, the 49ers is good.
Okay, so I'm a 49ers fan, so I'm gonna have to say this to you. Like I said, you don't watch Jimmy G. I watch him because that's not your team. When you have a team, you know how your team is. You know what your team does. Jimmy G got traded over as a favor by Bill Belichick to the 49ers because they didn't want to keep Tom Brady. That's what they didn't want. Remember, originally Bill Belichick wanted Jimmy, so he comes to the 49ers. They give him a $100 million contract.
Right.
They give him a $100 million contract. He's been with the 49ers 5 years. He's been hurt all the time. He's injury prone. He's a turnover machine. He showed you his ceiling. His ceiling is getting us to the Super Bowl and not being able to complete that pass to whatchamacallit, who was running wide open, but he overthrew him, right? Now, you're talking about Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is not overrated because we've been to 3 straight NFC championship games. We've been to 1 Super Bowl in the last 4 years. So he's not overrated. You know what you were getting with Jimmy. But hold on. I didn't interrupt you. Hold on.
No, say them stats again real quick. You say y'all been to what?
I said we've been to 3 straight. We've been to 3 NFC championship games in the last 5 years.
In a Super Bowl.
We've been to 1 Super Bowl in the last 5. So in 5 years we went.
And Jimmy was Jimmy G, and Jimmy G was a quarterback for how many of those?
2. Now can I finish? Because I was explaining.
Hold on. Wasn't Kyle Shanahan around from the first one against his brother? First Super Bowl.
That was Jim Harbaugh. That was Jim
Harbaugh.
Right. That was Jim Harbaugh. That was back in 2012. We're talking 2019. Okay, so let me finish. Like I said, Jimmy G's ceiling is getting us to the Super Bowl. They pull up the perfect play. You overthrow the dude Ed Sanders, right? You throw how many interceptions in that Super Bowl? He's a turnover machine and he's injury prone. He's been there for 4 years. He's missed 1 year to injury, and he's missed at least 25 games to injury. So he's injury prone, plus he turns the ball over. Now, Kyle Shanahan is doing his job. John Lynch are doing their job. Now, like again, you just said all that for Jimmy G, but yet our 3rd string quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, came in and we won 9 straight games with him. Okay. The turnovers went down, the points went up, everything went up without him. Trey Lance was in there, but Trey Lance got hurt. That's why they drafted Trey Lance 2 years ago, because they realized Jimmy G's not that guy. Yes, Jimmy G was a good guy to come in and fill it until, as you see, he got hurt. Jimmy G's about to go to the Raiders, they're saying. You're about to have Devontae Adams. You had Kittle. You had Debo Samuel. So it's not like you're not playing with talent. So let's see what he do. But on the 49ers, he's a turnover injury-prone machine. He got a fair chance. He also got over $100 million.
Listen. You just all right. The quarterback y'all got now, because you gotta remember the things you said. You said Jimmy G will get you to the Super Bowl. So you telling me you have a quarterback that can get you to the Super Bowl? Remember, you said that.
I said we saw his ceiling was getting to the Super Bowl.
Right. So a ceiling is getting to the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate goal.
No, the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl, not get to a Super Bowl. Nobody wants to finish second. So what are you talking about?
You just said you have a quarterback that can.
I just said we have a quarterback that ceiling is getting us to the Super Bowl and overthrowing an open wide person to win. I just said that. I explained everything.
But he's been to 2 NFC, like what?
Okay, and we lost.
Right. And the guy y'all got now, you said Jimmy G couldn't get you over the hump, this and that. This guy here showed in that last game the same thing.
He got hurt on a fluke play. The guy played 9 games. We were scoring more points with Purdy. We was doing more down the field throws with Purdy. We won a 9-game win streak with Purdy. This is all after Jimmy G got hurt, and this is Jimmy G's backup to the backup. Like I said, you can place anyone in the 49ers offense the way they run. They run an option offense. They don't really run. You don't need Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. You need someone that's semi-athletic, i.e. Jimmy G semi-athletic, Purdy semi-athletic. That's why they drafted Trey Lance. I didn't even want them to draft Trey Lance, to be honest with you, because I said this guy's not ready, and Trey Lance is not ready. So we put him in the game. He breaks his ankle. So now we're down Jimmy G because he's gone. We're down Trey Lance because he's recovering from injury, and we're down Purdy because he has to get Tommy John surgery. But
you got Tommy John surgery?
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Yes, in his throwing arm.
Yo, how many
he ruptured when Hassan Reddick hit him, he ruptured his fucking elbow, bro.
Yo, I never even heard of a football player getting Tommy John.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
His career might be over.
That is a fluke injury.
Like I said, it might be over. Like, think about it. We lost 4 quarterbacks in one season. Trey Lance went down. Jimmy G went down. Purdy went. And like I told people, because my brother's an Eagles fan, I said, y'all won the game. But everything bad that could have happened to the 49ers literally happened. There's no excuses. But what I'm saying, Jimmy G, remember, I didn't even mention our defense. See what I'm saying? You're talking about all that Jimmy G. Our defense is why we win. But Purdy don't turn the ball. If you got Jimmy G giving the Chiefs the ball at the 30-yard line in the Super Bowl, you got Jimmy G giving the ball to the Rams at the 40-yard line in the NFC Championship, bro. Purdy wasn't doing that because Jimmy G turned the ball over to me.
I'm shocked too. You even like? Oh, I didn't like Jimmy G as soon as he came to the 49ers. Oh no, I'm saying
never like porn star Jimmy.
Hold on, because Bill Belichick co-signed him, so I'm surprised you even
I'm starting to question Bill Belichick's decision.
No, I don't like Jimmy G. I just call a spade a spade.
Bro, that's not. He got many chances, bro.
Hold on. Let two talk. Go ahead.
So as a 49ers fan, Jimmy G got a fair shot. He had the organization backed him and all that.
The organization backed him until they realized he was injury prone. This is what I'm trying to say. When he got there, they gave him $100 million. They gave him $100 million.
Bro, you keep saying that. That's the market. They ain't doing him no favor.
That was the market 5 years ago. Now dudes is getting $50 million a season. That's not the market no more.
Bro,
they gave Jimmy G got $100 million in 2018. That wasn't the market then. Dudes, what are you talking? So you trying to tell me Jimmy G's worth $150 million with 80 guaranteed? No, absolutely not.
Hold on.
Hell no.
Contract.
His first contract when he signed, when he got traded from the Patriots to the 49ers, they gave him $100 million. They gave him, I think, $130 million contract with $80 million guaranteed, was in like a $50 million signing bonus. He's not worth, bro. Jimmy G wasn't worth that. He was not worth that.
Bro, that's for a starting quarterback. That's what you get paid. What are you talking about? That's a bargain,
bro.
Especially
that
for
was
49ers.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Because Jimmy G was a bum, and he took. Of course, he got that, but he's not that type of player.
Yo, hold on. They see what he did in New England when Tom Brady got hurt.
He didn't do nothing. He played 5 games in New England, bro. What are you talking about? He played literally 5 games in New England.
And literally. He got the Belichick co-sign.
Like, come on, man.
And what did he do in the 5 games? Did he look okay in the 5 games?
He looked okay for 5 games. That's why everybody's like, you gave this guy $100 million for 5 games?
Right, yeah.
He ain't the first person, yeah.
Right.
I never wanted Jimmy G. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I didn't even, it's not like I don't want him. He's on my team. I have to accept it.
I'm just saying Jimmy G is a decent quarterback. He ain't no bum.
He is a bum. I'm about to tell you right now.
$100 million, that's a bargain to what the quarterbacks is getting paid.
Okay, so Jimmy G came in the league in 2014, right? 2014, he played 6 games. He had 1 touchdown, no turnovers. His second year, he played no games. I'm sorry, he played 5 games, no touchdowns, no turnovers. His third year with New England, he played 6 games. This was his best season yet. 4 touchdowns, no interception in 6 games, right? The next year, he gets traded to the 49ers. He played 6 games his first year as a 49 because he tore his knee up and we lost him that season. The next season, 2018, he plays 3 games because he got hurt again. 2019, the season we went to the Super Bowl, he played 6 games. He threw 27 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. The next year after that, 2020, he got hurt again. 2021, he played 15 games. He had 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. And last year, before he got hurt, he played in 11 games. So as you can see,
but 11 games. You didn't say the stats. 11 games, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's 4-1.
Okay,
that's crazy.
He got hurt. So he looked good, and then he got hurt. So those stats ain't crazy because he got injury because he's injury prone.
Yeah, but it's still 4-1, dog. That's not a normal number.
Raymond, it's 4-1 and he got hurt. So those numbers don't mean nothing because he wasn't playing anymore. Purdy came in. So what I'm saying is Jimmy G got hurt.
That can't be argued. But for you to say we overlooking his numbers when his agent sits down,
everything you just read. Let's go back. Of course, the little bit of games he played in New England, of course, he's not getting on the field because Tom Brady is. Hold on.
But you just told me that the little bit of games he played, he deserved the $100 million. I told you, no, he didn't.
We let you talk. Hold on. The first 2 seasons, he hardly played any games, which we know why. So you naming those first 2 seasons was irrelevant because Tom Brady was there fully healthy. When Tom Brady went down, Garoppolo took over, and in them games he took over, that was enough sample size for the NFL and for people to see he actually looked good. And if a person is going to say those games he played, he didn't look good, they just a hater. I'm not a Garoppolo fan. I'm just speaking on the games. Hold on.
Okay.
So they signed him. Now, him being injury prone, I agree. But those numbers you just ran off and also get to the Super Bowl and all that, that's not a bump.
Those numbers, he is a bum. He is a bum.
And hold on, I didn't like him even in New England. I thought he was over. I didn't understand the hype. It was just like Matt Castle when they had Matt Castle. And I was just like, all right, you guys think you're getting what exactly? Because he filled in for Brady. That wasn't that hard, but he's way better than I thought he was going to be.
When you say those 4 games, people saw enough of him, that's not what happened. He was supposed to stay in New England, but Tom Brady went to Robert Kraft, and that's when they traded Jimmy G. And I just told you when I started this whole conversation 15 minutes ago, no. I said that they traded Jimmy G to the 49ers as a favor.
We know that. Everybody know that, though.
That's what I'm telling you. Him getting that $100 million, it was a good contract for him, but he don't deserve that. This guy he's gonna throw 2 interceptions and two touchdowns and 1 interception. But in the playoffs, where it counts, his numbers are even worse. I get caught up in those regular season stats. I'm talking about the player. In the playoffs, he is a disaster.
His playoffs bad.
I'm talking about the playoffs, bro.
He got 4 touchdowns.
This is what I told you. I don't watch sports for the regular season because that's what you're supposed to do. I'm talking about when it comes down to it, he turns the ball over in inopportune times, and he's horrible in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, his completion percentage is
go back and
60.
watch that Super Bowl versus the Saints. Versus the Chiefs, and look at it.
It's 58% the last time out. That's bad. And then he got 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He was bad in the playoffs.
Question: how many years does a quarterback deserve to get a fair shake?
Bro, you keep talking about this fair shake. Hold on. Bro, I'm gonna answer your question. And I'm gonna answer your question. You just let me answer your question. You keep saying a fair shake. The man's been in the league since 2014, right? Hold on.
A simple question.
Bro, I have to answer. I'm answering your question. If you let me talk, you got to understand why I'm asking this. You keep saying, what does it take to get a fair shake? Now, who are we talking about? Jimmy G has been in the league since 2014. He's been a starter for 8 years.
I asked you no. I'm asking you if a quarterback is on one team, I'm asking you how many years is a fair shake?
3 years.
Generally. So you telling me if a quarterback struggles in 3 years, get him out of there?
Yes.
In this day and age, that's what they're doing.
No,
Manning was in the playoffs by his 3rd year.
It's what they're doing. I'm asking us. So you said,
and I said 3 years. Because 3.
Fabian, you agree with that? 3 years, get him out of there.
Nah, I don't.
That's ridiculous.
Nah, I don't.
So how long do you think they should stay?
5-6 years.
Yeah.
Okay, 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Remember the game. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That the game is different now. I've never seen them change coaches the way that they do. They change coaches crazy. That never used to happen.
Yeah,
so they're going to change quarterbacks. Remember, the quarterback that's the coach's guy. Once that quarterback is gone, that's what happened with Kaepernick. Really, once the coach is gone, the GM, you're done. So that's the problem with the NFL now. But we grew up in football. You're supposed to have a leader in there 4 or 5 years. They got to get to know the team. They usually start off as a backup. They gain everybody's confidence. 3 years is too short. 3 years is too short for anybody. Maybe if we're talking running backs, that's 5 years. We know that. That's the shortest average for anybody's career.
See, what I'm saying is this ain't the 80s, 70s, and 90s. We in a whole different era. And these billionaires, y'all got to understand, it's business. These guys don't care about how it used to be and what. I'm talking about what it is. When you draft a guy, look at Carson Wentz, perfect example. The Eagles drafted Carson Wentz. He looked great his first season. The next 2-3 seasons, he's trash. Look at when Tennessee drafted Marcus Mariota. They gave him his opportunity. He didn't start his first year. His second year, he was okay. His third year, he was trash. Look at Ryan Tannehill right now. He's bounced across the league, but he's trash. If you're drafting someone with a high pick, just like look at Jordan Love. Jordan Love with the Packers. He's been there for 3 years, but that's because he's sitting. Do they trust Jordan Love, or is it that they want to keep Aaron Rodgers because they don't trust Love? These teams aren't waiting. And then you get them. You got to get rid of them when it's cheap, because by the time they're in that 50 option, you got to pick it up. Then that's the big contract. That's why they starting to get rid of people now like that, because Lamar Jackson want to get a new contract. He wants $200-something million. Yes, Lamar Jackson is different. He won the MVP. He done something to say, you know what, he can stay here for 5, 6 years. But if you ain't doing nothing and the team's not improving, like Baker Mayfield, he's trash. Came in the league, we saw his uptake, and would you want to keep him for 6 years? He's showing you he's garbage. Every quarterback is different. There's some that's going to get it, and there's some that's not. You can look at Trevor Lawrence from Jacksonville. His first year was horrible, but he comes back this year and he got them in the playoffs. That's what I'm talking about. Look at Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Josh Allen too, but he got it his third year.
That season that Carson Palmer got hurt when he was in the Bengals, that was the second season they went to the playoffs. They were the best team in the league.
I think it might have been his second or third. I don't remember.
Okay.
Hold on, I think it was 2009.
Because I think, it couldn't have been. But my point
I'm looking up
with
right
Carson Wentz was that Carson Wentz got hurt. Like, Carson Wentz looked like he was amazing to me. And then once he tore his shit up, it was like, damn.
He was having an MVP season until he got hurt.
Yeah. So
I
think
said
it's tough.
the 2 seasons after that. I said the 2 seasons after that, he was good. I didn't say his first season. He should have won MVP over Tom Brady, if you ask me. But they gave it to Tom Brady when Carson Wentz played 13 games. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's why it's tough. That's why football is a different thing. But like, what's his name? You just said that with the he was always showing off. He just got cut by the Browns and he went to the Panthers.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I never thought he was nice. Yeah, so that was all like
certain dudes like Mariota's and all of them. I'm being honest. We know. I'm just saying, if a person is a sports fan, you know certain players don't deserve 5, 6 years. I'm saying the guys that they show flashes. I'm saying at the end of the day, give them the proper team to build around. If a guy ain't got no weapons, if a guy ain't got no good offensive line, yeah, he gonna look terrible. Unless you a Peyton Manning or Dan Marino, one of the super duper greats. But if you ain't one of those, I'm saying you got to give guys some time. That's all I'm saying. Some guys deserve a fair shake. Some guys, I get why they don't get a fair shake, because I don't even know how they got drafted where they got drafted at. A la Baker Mayfield, Mariota. Them guys is backup quarterbacks from the beginning.
Absolutely.
So I get it with them type of dudes. But other dudes, I mean, you know, like I said, we could agree to disagree. We ain't gonna always agree with each other, but I just feel certain players, they get bad breaks.
Yeah, that's certain players. We know that this guy, but a certain player. I'm talking about particular players. When you look at particular players, there's particular players. I'm talking about my criteria is, if I watch you in college, like, I don't know if you remember when the Lions drafted the dude from Oregon back in the days. They was calling him Joey Heisman. He came and he was a high draft pick for the Lions, and he was trash. There's been so many quarters. When you're drafted high like Baker Mayfield is, you're drafted high because they thinking, yo, you can send me, you're a franchise quarterback. And then you come in your first year, you say, okay, you start, then you look bad. Lamar Jackson was different. Lamar Jackson is a different type of play. He came in second, third year winning MVP. I'm not talking about him. He deserved that because he's showing you I'm an MVP. But if you got someone that's middle of the pack, you want to have this dude 6, 7 years, and then remember his 5th year option. That's when the money kicks. So you got to give him the big contract. That's why they really let people go.
So who you think is better, Baker Mayfield or Jimmy G?
Jimmy G.
I'll take Jimmy G over Baker Mayfield any day.
Okay, so Baker Mayfield's a bum. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think the whole point was. Jimmy G ain't no bum.
Prime example, a guy like Jared Goff. That's a great example for me. I'm not saying he's no great quarterback. I'm not saying that.
Hold on 1 second, y'all.
Yeah, no problem. But like I said, look at Detroit. You give them a fair shake. You treat dudes fair. Give them an opportunity. Guys is going to be solid. I'm not saying guys is going to be Pro Bowlers and Hall of Famers and mentioned with Brady's and all them dudes. No, I'm not saying that. Right. But come on, man. You got to give a guy weapons. You got to give a guy offensive line. You got to give a guy something. If he has the potential. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what it is, too. If you have an arm, if you have a high IQ or a decent IQ, Baker Mayfield does not have any of that.
Perfect example. And I think I don't know if you like the Giants, too, but perfect example. Eli Manning won, and he didn't have the great line. He wasn't the best quarterback, but in the moments that you never thought he he during like the playoff, he was like Eli Manning is stepping up, but he's not looked at as someone that all-time great, but he's doing things with less. There's a lot of quarterbacks that done less with like look at
but
we just
they do things with less. Hold on, that them Giants teams defensively was crazy.
Okay, and just like I said, the 49 and my 49ers defense was crazy, but I told you I didn't mention none of that with Jimmy G because, like I said, if you know football, you would know that my defense was crazy. So we're just talking about in the playoffs, Eli Manning stepped up and he made the throws and he did stuff because Eli usually turned the ball over.
But Jimmy G. I think that it goes against what you're saying.
It's not going against what I'm saying. Eli Manning, he just said people got to have an offensive line and all these things. Eli Manning, I'm just saying he didn't have the best offensive line. So he was still able to do stuff. There's people out here that need everything perfect, I'm saying. Eli is just, he didn't.
No, but Joe, listen what I'm saying. No, listen what I'm saying. I'm saying with Eli, certain quarterbacks, like think about it, the Giants could have gave up on them. They could have, like right now, we could give up on Daniel Jacobs. No, you be patient. What I'm saying is build a proper team around the dude and give a guy a fair shot to see what he do with, okay, if you ain't got a great offensive line, at least some offensive weapons, at least a defense. So
you're right, and that's what I'm saying. They believed in Eli because Eli was showing he was showing more flashes than that's what I'm saying.
He wasn't.
Hold on. I'm not talking about at first. I'm talking about when they got to the playoffs. They made the playoffs finally after. I don't think when did they make it, Raymond? It wasn't his first year, but what, his second year or his third year? He
replaced Kurt Warner. I want to say his second or third year because he replaced Kurt Warner.
I'm just saying, just him coming in that moment of replacing Kurt Warner, and we know what Kurt Warner was doing. Just for him that he wasn't scared of the moment. Not that he was showing great flashes, but he had confidence. There's certain quarterbacks like, yo, he just have it. And Eli showed us he just have it sometimes, not all the time, but he won 2 Super Bowls, and he was a big part of it. What I'm saying, I don't think Baker Mayfield could do that. I don't think Marcus Mariota could have did that. That's what I'm saying.
No, but go ahead, Fade.
Now I was gonna say that with Eli, we wanted him out. That year we went on a Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
He had 4 interceptions against the Vikings, and with Darren Sharp returned like 4 back, we wanted him gone. What you're saying is, I thought he was a bum, the way he was playing. But all of a sudden,
I still think he's a bum, by the way. I still think Eli's a bum.
I can't call him a bum. You can't call him, you see? We can't call him a bum. And that's what happens in this world right now. You call him a bum, but then you see him in the playoffs, you go, yo, he only threw that one bum interception in the playoffs that year in the championship when it fumbled off somebody's knee or something like that. Yo, we didn't expect Eli to ever do no shit like that.
He arguably twice beat the GOAT.
It's no argument. He did beat the Patriots. No argument.
No. I'm saying arguably because some people don't have Tom Brady as the GOAT, and some people don't have the Patriots as one of the greatest football teams, franchises ever. So
Tom Brady is not my GOAT, but he is the GOAT. Like, I understand. Like, everyone, because I'm from different age groups. Like, my son thinks Tom Brady the GOAT.
Yeah, I'm just speaking for because some people may not have him like that. So I'm saying, but just my whole point is
opportunity.
Right, but also you got to have the right football minds to know the game. Prime example, I'm going to switch off topics real quick. They just showed the clip, I forgot who had it on their page, of Mark Jackson at a Davidson game early in Steph Curry's career. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about. We need to stay on this topic.
Right, and Mark Jackson is in the booth going, while Steph Curry is on the court in Davidson, going, yo, that kid is a stone point guard in the NBA. And the commentator with him, his partner, is basically going, you bugging. That kid cannot play in the NBA. Mark Jackson's going, are you out your mind? So my point is, if it just goes to show you, a lot of these sports organizations, they don't even have the right.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, think about this. You just said that. You see how we are sitting here and we see obvious stuff? I love Michael Jordan. I got Jordan jersey on right now. I love Mike. But he's horrible as a GM. Stop hiring your homeboys. Hire someone that know what they're doing. Now, back to the Mark Jackson because me and Ray were talking about this a few days ago. Steve Kerr gets all this acclaim for what he's done, and he's done it. He's won championships, no question. But let's not act like Mark Jackson ain't leave all his furniture in that house when he left. Steph, Clay. Remember when Mark Jackson was saying Steph and Clay the greatest shooting back ever, and everybody was roasting him?
Yes.
He was right. But now Steve Kerr got them, and it's looking like, oh my God, Steve Kerr's the greatest coach ever and this and that. But bro, Mark Jackson had that, and Mark Jackson was making the playoffs with Golden State. Just that Steph had them ankle injuries earlier.
Now, this is where I'm going to play devil's advocate. I like Mark Jackson.
I love Mark.
Hold on. Yeah, you left the furniture, but you might have left the apartment looking ugly, and I made the apartment look pretty. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson did not open up that offensive package that they had that Steve Kerr did. I'm just being honest. And then Steve Kerr had the guts to tell Iguodala, I need you to come off the bench. Mark Jackson didn't do that. So I give Mark props, but I don't go as far as Mark Jackson started that. I'm just being honest. I'm not doing that.
You're right, because remember, Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr are two different types of players. Mark Jackson seen the game from a point guard, big man perspective. Steve Kerr was Steph Curry. He could shoot the ball. He knows how to get in. He's looking at Steph Curry like, you're a better shooter than me. So if I was doing this in the triangle offense, whatever offense they was running, whoever his assistants, coaches, well, you got to understand that. That's how you got to look at sports. If Steve Kerr looking at Curry like, yo, he has a better handle than me. He's faster than me off the screens. If I go back and look at the old footage and when I played with the Bulls, I'm not saying he did this. I'm just saying you're right about
it's a part of his experience.
Because they're looking at their coaching from. That's why I say Luka having Jason Kidd is perfect, because Jason Kidd was a point guard. Luka's a point guard, right? But if Jason Kidd was coaching Shaq, would it be the same? You know what I'm saying? So when I look at Steve Kerr, you're right. I'm not saying Steve Kerr deserved the credit. They won those chips, and I'm talking about he knew how to use the pieces better, because he's looking at it. Me and Steph Curry basically played the same position. I can move him around. Then you add Clay, someone who you can't double Steph and leave Clay open, and vice versa. Then when you got Draymond Green, who can basically be a point guard because you got the best shooters.
Can I say something? I know y'all all seen the movie Blow, right?
Yep.
Remember when Johnny Depp was in jail and he met the plug that was cool with Pablo? Do you remember what he told Johnny Depp in jail?
Nah.
He told Johnny Depp, when Johnny Depp told him, yo, I'm doing the bud and I'm getting it across this and that and that and that. And the guy told him, you got the wrong dream. Mark Jackson might have the wrong dream. Let me explain. You might not be a great head coach, but you might be one of the greatest to pick talent. Mark Jackson,
maybe he should be a GM.
Mark Jackson,
Thomas.
It's somebody's team, and he should be the highest paid GM to go all around the world and evaluate talent.
Yeah, talent scout.
No, I agree. Listen, listen. I'm from New York. If you grew up in New York and you like basketball, you know about the great point guard. Mark Jackson was
point guard. He don't get the props that he deserves.
Mark Jackson was a great point guard. He changed his game around. You know, he used to be dunking at St. John. Then he started doing the Jackson jiggle, the teardrop playing. I love Mark Jackson. But you're right about that. That's why I say about talent. I sit on my couch. I sit at my desk. We've been watching sports our whole life. When you watch football in college, sometimes you see someone like, yo, me, I watch college football, college basketball, all that. I'm looking at, for instance, when I saw Joey Bosa play Ohio State, I'm looking at Nick Bosa, his brother. I said, Nick Bosa is better than him.
Damn.
Nick Bosa is better than Joey Bosa. And I was right. Because you can just tell, like, when you look at Ndamukong Suh when he was at Nebraska, he was different. And Ndamukong Suh was different. When he went to Detroit, they was trash. But he was beasting over there. They had Nick Farley from USC. This is how far I go back. So when I'm looking at someone, I'm looking at, you know, Steph Curry or Davidson. I watched him in the tournament. He was wet. He couldn't miss. Just that they ran up against a better team. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry, I don't take no – he is the greatest shooter. My top shooters, I got Curry. I'll put Larry Bird. I'll put Klay Thompson and Dirk Nowitzki up there. Ray Allen, Reggie Miller. It's so many. But Steph, to me, he's the go-to three-point shooter. Yeah. That dude is unbelievable.
I think the whole thing, the whole Mark Jackson thing, I get it. Because we from New York. A lot of people like to say that shit. And I just never – I hated when he was coaching Steph Curry. I saw him against San Antonio. He left him in there for too long. I'm like, bro, he needs to rest. I'm on this couch and I know this. On top of that, listen to them when they do their commentating. Steve Kerr's like the nerdy commentator, but he always broke the game down. I listened to him on podcasts. Steve Kerr, to me, he just comes off like he's more knowledgeable about the politics of it. The politics of it. Mark Jackson, remember.
I'm talking about that, the IQ politics. That's what I'm talking about.
But no, I'm saying, remember, he's not in the league because of anything to do with his talent as a coach. It got everything to do with politics. It's politics.
But
it's more than politics, bro. He was doing some things that players didn't agree, like listening to certain parts of music. You trying to talk to guys and tell them that they can't do certain things.
Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna give kudos. And I do not like him as a coach. For some reason, these last 10 games, Tibbs has got out of his own way. Mark Jackson does not know how to get out of his own way. It's a new day. You cannot be the old grumpy man with your old ways. That shit is over with. Steve Kerr let them young boys loose. He let them loose. But I think Mark Jackson has the wrong dream. You're not a great coach. You're a great evaluator of talent. Bruh.
See, now hold on. See, but you were just talking about giving someone a fair chance, though. Now he can't coach. You just said you want people to get a fair chance. You think Mark Jackson got a fair chance? He didn't.
No, but
he didn't. No,
no.
Hold on. You just broke it down. Mark Jackson can coach because we saw he could coach because he did take Steph and them to the playoff. I don't think he could coach. Hold on. He was just like Raymond said. He pushed Steph early with the not restless. Remember, he was still learning the game. But when I was watching the Warriors, we forgot what the We Believe team looked like. Well, when Mark Jackson got there, they was making the playoff. They was pushing the Spurs to the brink. They was pushing
when they had Monte Ellis.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, did Mark Jackson didn't get a fair shake because, like Raymond said, there's certain politics, yes, but Mark Jackson also did a lot of that. You're trying to talk to men like boys. You're trying to talk to men like boys and
hold on. See now that's news to me.
It's not.
I've heard that. I don't want to bring all that up.
This is why I watched Shannon and Skip. They were talking about he wanted church music playing. He wanted people to go to church on Sundays. He wanted some stuff that he should. This ain't college.
But I don't want y'all to answer for me. Let me just say this. I don't think he was a good coach. So
that's cool.
No. So that's my point. Yeah, you don't deserve a fair shake if you're not a good, just like a good quarterback. If you're not a good, like what's the Baker Mayfield? Whoa. If you're not good, you don't deserve a fair chance. But if you got flashes and it look like you know what you're doing, I think you deserve a fair shake. I don't think Mark Jackson was a good coach.
So is Jock Vaughn a good coach? So he got a chance. Was Steve? Hold on.
I like that example.
Hold on.
I like that example.
Hold on. Did Steve Nash get a fair shake? Was it really Steve Nash's fault?
But you gotta let me in.
Did he get a fair? No, I'm just saying that I'm just saying. Like, think about
Steve Nash never got the job.
Yes,
that
was crazy. That's
Darvin Ham should have never got this job.
No. Yes,
Darvin Ham was on that bench for 11 years. Bro.
Yes, he was on the Bucks.
All right.
Darvin Ham earned two.
Maybe not the Laker job, but a coaching job.
Darvin Ham earned a coaching spot. Steve Nash, you can't equate Steve Nash and Darvin Ham.
I'm not doing that. Y'all telling me Darvin? All right, he could be a coach. You telling me Darvin Ham should be the head coach of the LA Lakers with LeBron James?
I just said that. I just said not the Lakers, but a head coach.
Okay, that's my point. He does not deserve that job.
They was going to give it to Udoka, but Udoka didn't
deserve no job at all.
Think about it. I always tell Raymond this. There's a coach out here that, yes, he won a championship, but I said, I don't like him. Larry Brown. Yes, he won a championship with the Pistons, but he had like 15,000 head coaching jobs. Doc Rivers, too. Doc Rivers won a chip with KG and them. But Doc Rivers, he keep getting jobs.
You know who else is a terrible coach? The coach of Milwaukee. I've been saying that. He's
Budenholzer?
But
hold on.
I like Budenholzer.
They won that championship with bad coaching.
Bro.
They won that championship with bad coaching.
Bro, they was winning. They won the champion. They was better. They was a better team than the Suns. The Suns lost that championship.
They won that championship despite bad coaching.
No, the coach on the Suns got out coached.
Bud is not a good coach. All right, I don't want to stay on that. I respect.
Yeah, because too the point with that is that the topic that you brought up, Joe, was all right. So what is the fair shake now with a coach? Because you said a fair shake for a quarterback. What is it? What is a fair shake for a coach? I think a fair shake is exactly what Darvin Ham did. He spent years on the bench as an assistant coach. Steve Nash did not do that. Where the hell did Steve Nash come from to get a head coaching job like that? So I agree with you, the Steve Nash part, but what is a fair shake to you then? If Darvin Ham is not one, come on now. Jock Vaughn deserves a spot. He coached Orlando. He's been on an assistant coach.
Well, put it like this. Jock Vaughn once, remember, because he did go on like a 9-10 game winning streak. I think Jock Vaughn is a good coach.
See, I can. You know why I don't call people good? Because to me, you gotta keep doing it. No, you can have an outlier season.
No, but he got the job though, Joe. He just got the job.
That's why I said. That's why I said I'm not judging him this season. I said that If he comes back next season and make the playoffs, I'm like, damn, okay. You have to be consistent. Like, that's why we like who we like as rappers and sports players. If Michael Jordan averaged 31 years, we wouldn't like him if he never did it again or did the things he do. You have to be consistent. A good coach is someone who's consistently, you make the first round, you lose the first round. The next year, you may make the second round. You may lose in the first round. But you keep, you're supposed to keep going. You can't just stop now. If Jock Vaughn get this team, because now they're dropping a little bit. They were in 4th place. If Jock Vaughn could take them and make the playoffs, then they lose in the first round. But next year with the same talent, get to the. That's a good coach. Because now he has a full
but that starts
season.
off. But that starts off with a fair shake. So again, 2. What's a fair shake for a coach?
What do you mean? A fair shake for a coach?
Yeah,
Coaches
to keep your team competitive and in the playoff hunt. Like it's no timetable, but. I mean, you can't go 5 years with not making the playoffs, but if you got a solid squad.
But that happens, though.
No. I know.
We've seen Eric Spoelstra not make the playoffs for 3, 4 seasons.
Right. But he asking me, so I'm saying my answer is if you consistently competitive in games and you're making the playoffs, then I think you deserve to keep your job. Now, if a better coach comes up and they can get that better coach, hey, I don't knock that. But right now, if Jock Vaughn, let's say they stay with that debacle, now he got a whole new team. Remember, they just beat Boston in a good game, came back down 20-something. Yeah. Let's just say he get them to the playoffs with this team, not the play-in. The playoffs are 7th, 8th seed. That's good coaching. That's good coaching.
To maintain that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
But then you got to come back. You got to come back in. Yeah. But you just said something. If a coach is not making the playoffs, or if a better coach comes along,
you thought of Spoelstra.
So why, when they move players like that, it's wrong? If you're telling me you're letting someone go because someone's better coming, why they can't do that to them? They do that to the players too. Exactly. So if Phil Jackson's available, hold on, because people lost. Remember, Rick Carlisle was on the Pistons and got them to the playoffs, but they let him go and they got Larry Brown.
But you heard what I said. I said 5 years. That means the contract is up.
But Rick Carlisle they fired him.
Rozay,
he was on the contract.
But I said 5 years. I said, listen what I said. I said, if a coach give you 5 years and they terrible and not making the playoffs, then yeah, you gotta go.
No, I didn't say that. He made the playoffs the year he was fired.
So you said he didn't get right, but that was stupid. Then I don't think anybody agreed that was.
Saying.
Yeah.
But
no,
that's a different story. But he said no. He said,
but all right, hold on. Rick Carlisle. How long did he have that job and didn't get them over the hump?
I think he was there for 5 years. I think he made the playoffs 3 years.
It's not that he didn't get him over the hump. They got Rasheed Wallace the next year. He had a different team. They did Rick Carlisle dirty. He was the same.
That's what I'm saying.
What's the difference between Rick Carlisle and Larry Brown, really?
Hold on. Y'all saying Rick Carlisle in Dallas?
No, on the Pistons.
Oh,
yeah.
Carlisle in Detroit.
They went to 4 straight Eastern Conference championships, but when they fired him for Larry Brown, they traded for Rasheed Wallace at the trade deadline. That's how they won the chip.
All right, so let me ask you a question, which that was wrong.
Yeah.
Right. At that point, was Larry Brown a better coach than Rick Carlisle?
No.
In my opinion,
I'm just asking.
In my opinion, you would have to know basketball to see, like, you know what I'm saying? There's no way he's a better coach. What did Larry Brown really do?
Larry Brown was the same guy that sat Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, and LeBron in the Olympics.
Hold on. You know what? Yo, Joe, hold on. You know what? The same shit you just said about Mark Jackson, that's what I feel about Rick Carlisle. Larry Brown took Rick Carlisle's team and took all the glory from him. That's what everybody's claiming Steve Kerr's doing for Mark Jackson. That's what I feel about Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle went and got his team in Dallas and he did it again.
So can I ask y'all a question? What happened with Rick Carlisle? What happened with Mark Jackson? If that new coach comes in and wins the championship, is that a fair trade-off?
Well,
it's a fair trade-off for business, but it's the same thing with Ty Lue and Splat. They got rid of Blatt after getting to the finals, and Ty Lue came along and they won the finals. It's the same thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, when you are in a business, we're in a business. This is a business. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. Like you said, you get contracts get whatever. But my thing is, there's people that get too many chances, and there's people that don't get any chances. I'm talking about the people that you know. Like, when we look at Doc Rivers, yes, that man won a championship with the Celtics. But when you look at his track record since, it's horrible. So was it that team or was it Doc's coaching? Because Thibodeau was on that that staff, right? A lot of players became coaches from that staff. But why Doc Rivers can't do nothing? I think Doc Rivers is overrated because he hasn't updated his resume since 2008.
Doc
You
Rivers,
have the most.
Doc Rivers
You have the.
terrible.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Watch this.
When he keeps getting a shot, he keeps getting a shot.
I've been saying that forever.
No, yo, there's a bunch. You know, look, shout out to Dom Dropper. We know how Dom feel. That's how Dom went crazy.
I don't like Doc. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray.
Nah, but to answer your question too, it was that's business. It was a fair trade-off.
No.
Like how can we really? Yeah, how can we really argue that?
So what I'm saying is, listen. That's what I'm saying. Remember, we may not think at that moment Larry Brown wasn't better, but maybe the organization thought that. And to be fair, they might have been right because they went and won a championship. I'm not saying us. Remember, we think different.
Yeah.
I'm saying how they may feel. Remember, Golden State may say, we think Steve Kerr better. Remember, we may go, nah, no, he not. But go ahead.
I got one for you.
All right.
How you think the Cowboys feel? You let Jimmy Johnson go for Barry Switzer. He won a Super Bowl the next year, but you let Jimmy Johnson go, right?
Now,
was that a fair trade-off?
No, that was terrible. But remember, they said Jimmy Johnson in
Jerry Jones.
And Jerry Jones. Remember, they said
I know they were beefing, but that's what I'm saying. Jerry Jones didn't swallow his. He could have swallowed his pride and said, "You know what? I'm gonna let you." But he chose to go for Barry Switzer.
He was wrong. He was wrong.
No. He was right because they got a championship. He just thought it was going to be more after that.
Right.
So is that a fair trade-off?
No, because
because Jimmy Johnson's a football mind.
Back to back before that.
Huh?
Right. They went to back.
They went back to back before that, and then they.
So that wasn't a fair trade-off because Jimmy Jones went back to back. So that was not a fair trade-off. Jerry Jones was just straight out wrong with that.
So, but there's two sides to a coin. Two things could be right. Like, yeah, we think Rick Carlisle was a better coach. It's just two different things, though. The Mark Jackson thing, I don't think any of us think he's going to be what Rick Carlisle is. No, I don't think that.
I just think he's not getting a. That's when I agree with too about the fair shot. He's not getting a fair. Like, think about it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar never been a head coach. Patrick Ewing, he had to go to the college. There's a lot of players that I think should be head coach. And I'm looking like, how come they're not head coaching? And like you said, it's politics, it's other things that come with it. But we look at these guys like, homie, how did this dude get a job? Like the dude that coach in Boston. This dude looks like he should be doing tax preparation. He's 34 years old. He got the Celtics. And he basically got Udoka's team. Remember, the Lakers wanted to hire Ime Udoka, but it would have been bad for press coming off what he did for the Celtics. You're right. Darvin Ham shouldn't be there. I would rather Udoka. Ime showed me something. You were sitting next to Pop for like 11 years, bro. You learned something from Pop.
And he was in the league.
Look what he did to Boston. They had that turnaround last January, and they just that defense was at another level. And Joe Mazzola got them playing the same level. So is it the players or is it Joe?
He did. I think that's a good point about Ime Udoka, bro. That could go either way. We seen the Shaq and Kobe thing. I mean, they won, but for a long time it was Jaylen Brown. You got to trade somebody, either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, and he got them somehow to sit down and be like, "Yo, hold on, we got to figure this out." But I want to stay on this topic though, because Taylor Jenkins is the coach of the Grizzlies. Yeah. Is it his fault that John Morant's bugging out?
No, Taylor Jenkins. Yo, hold on, too. You watch Stranger Things?
Nah, I heard about it.
He looked like the Pops from Stranger Things. The Taylor Jenkins looked like the guy that played the sheriff.
He looked like my old coworker.
I got you. Hey, listen. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna make a joke, but I'm dead serious. My opinion: let John Morant go be a gangster. Don't play NBA no more. Go ahead, tough guy.
Exactly. That's what I was telling someone earlier. I said, we all play ball, whatever. Things happen on the basketball court. Even with your friends, you get into a heated game. You ain't want to fight your friend. But you out here you got your mans pointing guns at other Indiana Pacers, not ops. They in the parking lot pointing guns at the Pacers. Like these dudes, everybody want to be tough, and that's cool. So like you said, you want to be tough? Go to LA, become a cripple of blood,
big
and go out there and be on go time. Or you could just be in the NBA, take care of your family, and become a superstar. Everybody can't be tough.
Can I
There's
say
someone out here tougher than somebody? Go ahead, bro.
Hold on to what you said. Go get a big homie.
Yeah, no. Go be the big homie. Remember, right now you probably up about 70, 80 million. Take your money. You can take care of the whole game. and go ahead and do drive-bys.
And then you got his pops looking like Jay Prince Jr. Like, why his pops think he Jay Prince with the shades and stuff, homie? You be a dad. You didn't see Steph Curry dad doing this when he was at Davidson?
Let me say this. It's a reason. Let me explain something. You can't have 200 million to be a gangster. This is why certain rappers will never get to that level. Why you think Drake is where he's at? Why you think Jay-Z? Why you think Lil Boosie would never get 100 million? Because it don't mix. You can't be a gangster and have 200 million. Where does that work at?
I mean, you can be a gangster because Pablo Escobar was a gangster and he had over 200 million. So it depends on No, I know what he's saying.
Yeah, but Boosie.
You can't be an
None of these guys are Pablo Escobar.
No, you can't be an entertainer. You can't be an entertainer.
It works for one person, and I don't know how it does it, and I love
50.
GOAT.
Yeah, but that's different. 50's entertainer, but 50 circumstances differently.
No.
50. Yeah,
hold on. That's a good question, though. How the hell does he make it work?
You know why he makes it work? You know why he makes it work? Because 50's from that cloth of what most of these rappers are, like the Fat Joe cloth, the DMX cloth. 50 shit really been shot. We seen 50 go through stuff. But we know. Hold on. But we know if somebody stepped to 50 in the street, 50 could box. I don't know if Ja could box. I know 50 can handle himself in some aspect in his life. Ja probably never had a fight.
Listen, Rose, listen what I'm saying. Everything you saying, I'm not denying. Listen to what we saying. Fat Joe a gangster. Fat Joe will never have 400 million. Listen what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
Listen, Fat Joe said this shit about 50 Cent. I almost fell out. He said, yo, bro, how is this nigga still here? He said, a nigga like that don't even supposed to be where he at. Look, he said, he probably was a nigga back in the days with the dog sickening on him.
Yes, I saw that. But you know why? See,
some people look, man upstairs, look.
No. It's not even the man upstairs. Understand, 50 Cent been a street dude. He's trying to make that transition. See, Ja want to do the opposite. Like Jay-Z said, I'm a hustler, not a rapper. 50 Cent is a gangster, then he became a rapper, then he became a businessman. But 50 Cent is taking all that stuff and putting it into shows. Why don't Ja Morant make a show called The Grizzlies? You could be thugging, you could be shooting in the show, you could do everything you want to do. We could have Lil Wayne playing Ja Morant. We can do whatever if you want to do that.
But that works for Ja for 50 because he's not attached to to any corporation he's attached to.
But listen,
he could let him go. He ain't in the NBA.
He's not corporate.
They shut Iverson's album down. This ain't your platform.
Jewels.
Ja Morant just needs to look at the statistics. How many gangsters made $500 million and made it? And how many didn't? It's only fucking one. 50 Cent. Everybody else ain't got $500 million that want to do the dumb shit you doing.
Yeah, but even 50's not doing the dumb shit that Ja's doing. That's what I'm saying. That's a different. Ja Morant, like I said, and I don't mind Ja Morant having the gun on Instagram. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking the fact that your man pointed a gun at another NBA team. Then you allegedly beat up a 17-year-old kid, and then you put the gun on live. You see what I'm saying? There's too many instances.
Hey, Rozay, listen.
You're just doing too much.
But I'm going to be honest. This is just my opinion. And I want to get to a couple other topics because, we've been rolling. I want to kind of talk about the Knicks, the Lakers. But I'm going to just say this. This is just my opinion. Even if he had one incident where he showed the gun on Instagram at the party, to me, that's enough to be suspended.
Yeah, but I think he should have got more than 2 games. Right. He should have got like 5 games.
No, right now.
They're trying to get him out of there.
Nigga, now, what's the word?
Indefinite.
It's indefinite. Yeah, which I love. Listen, which we know 9 times out of 10, it may be 10 games.
Nah, because Kyrie got Kyrie missed 8 games with the indefinite, was like 8 games?
I've never seen, think about a superstar of a franchise doing that with a gun. I've never seen that.
You've never seen that because remember, we don't know what Iverson and all these other people doing. There was no social media back then. Remember, Iverson, you saw it because it's 2023. Think about all the stuff like when Gilbert Arenas said in the 80s, when Michael Jordan was like, yo, they was in a room doing all that stuff. Think about all the drugs and stuff. I understand because of technology. That's what makes it even worse for Ja. You can have your guns. No one's saying that. But you're going live. You're not doing it on your house cameras and someone is taping it. You're doing it yourself. Right, that's what I'm saying. You're incriminating, like all these rappers that do that. You're incriminating yourself when you get on the song and talk about the people that you killed. That's what I'm saying. You could have been in your house with all the guns you want. I'm not. I'm still
not vouching for that. I'm not vouching for that.
I'm not vouching for it neither. But what I'm saying is, you're pulling out a gun after your man just had, like with Gilbert Arenas. You do the gun celebration after you just got reprimanded for the gun. So why would you have a gun on live after you just got in trouble for your man pointing the gun at the Pacers?
That's a perfect example. That's a perfect example. That's a perfect example of what not to be. Gilbert Arenas.
But listen, where I'm going with it is, what I'm going with it is, you saying if he didn't have those other incidents, that one incident would have been fine. I'm saying
no. I didn't say it would have been fine. I said it's even worse because it's more than one incident. Yes, if he has the gun, he should be suspended. But you also have two other things. You're facing possible lawsuit for hitting a minor. That's even worse than having a gun. You hit a minor allegedly.
And that's my beef when y'all bring up Allen Iverson. Don't bring up AI. I never heard no minor involved with no AI shit. No matter what. Like, that to me is dumb.
One thing to hear something, whether we know it's true or whether we think it's true. It's another thing to physically see it.
Yeah.
When somebody say, we didn't see, we know the story of Gilbert and them, but just imagine seeing that shit.
Right. Yeah, just like we didn't see Biggie and Tupac get killed, but we saw Nipsey get killed.
No,
it's technology.
It's a good point though. Like, it's different if you get to see if somebody had a recorder and Gilbert Arenas with the guns in his locker. It'll be like, yo, y'all are wild. It just looks wilder. We all know about some wild shit that happens, and we ain't talking about it. Yeah, we ain't talking about, let alone showing it.
Yeah, because that's the era we from. We didn't grow up when we was younger. There was no Instagram. There was no internet like that. So that's why I say the 80s, 70s, and 90s can never come back.
Hold on, but Joe, that's our beef with his pops or anybody around them. There's people our age around
them. I'm a father. I have a son. So this hits me different. My son is 20. I'm his dad. He's 20. So yeah, we have friendly moments. My job is to make sure my son went to school. He stayed safe. He didn't get no girls pregnant. He knew how to fight. He did sports. He did anything. Pops think he's Jay Prince. He's the one that's why Josh acting like that, because I believe that his father act like that. My father was a gangster, but I didn't act like my dad. There's a difference. Where's his uncle? Where's an older cousin? Where's a nephew? Someone to say, yo, Ja, you moving too fast, bro. Where are the other males in his life? Before it even get to anybody, it's his pops who should be taking care of the situation. So we see who the problem is.
But like we talked about yesterday, at the end of the day, Ja gotta look in the mirror. That's on him.
Listen. This is what I've always been big on, and I started thinking like this maybe 2 years ago. When a person is grown, I hate this saying. Yo, he ain't got nobody. None of his mans can't tell him nothing. Let me explain something. Once I'm of age, if I want to do something, I want to do it. I don't care how close you are to me. You can't tell me nothing. I don't blame John Morant Pops. I don't care where his uncle, cousin, brother, sister, nobody at. That nigga brain is developed to where he knows what he's doing because he think that shit is cool.
Yeah, right? No, you're right.
Pops, nobody can't tell him nothing. He has to understand himself. Yo, bruh. I could make $1 billion within the next 15 years, 20 years.
Yeah, but he has to understand himself, but his dad is acting just like him. So that's what I'm saying. Right. That's what I'm saying. They act like friends.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what people want to say about LeVar Ball and them Pops, I seen him acting like a dad. When I used to watch they show, my man used to cook breakfast for them. He was doing everything he did to make them successful. What I'm saying is you in there with your sunglasses on at the game, getting into it with Shannon Sharp. Bro, sit down. You don't see Steph Curry Pops doing none of that. You don't see J.R. Smith Pops doing none of that. There's a lot of people that Kyrie father's with him. Kyrie Pops don't act like that.
So let me ask you a question. Because I'm not putting no blame. Like, I don't care what my Pops. Listen what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
What LeBron did with his moms, I commended him for that. That one time it took. Walked in the crowd, mom, fuck is you doing? Sit down.
Right.
Why John Morant can't do that? You ain't got to act like it.
Because, remember, why do people become gang members? Because they dad and father or brother was. Sometimes it just runs in the family. Why do people become cops? Because your grandfather was cop. Why do people become firemen? When that is your role model your whole life, or you see that your whole life, some people could avoid it, and that's what's called a fork in the road. He's deciding to go that direction. You're right. It's all on him because he's the one that's going to lose all the money. He's the one that's going to lose all the friends. It is on him. But at the end of the day, someone have to say your job, even if they're not saying it to him. Your father is the one that you would think would be carrying himself a certain way. That's all I'm saying. When I was his age, you couldn't tell me nothing. You're right.
Right. But also, Ja gotta understand that. Like it doesn't even matter, even if his father was a good role model. It's still on him something's happening right now. This is crazy. I'm making all these news for the wrong reasons.
Absolutely.
Nah, like you said, with the same thing with Kyrie. That's how I feel. It's not as bad as the gun thing, anything like that. But bro, there's $500 million on the table. Whatever it is you want to do, don't blow that opportunity. That's a chance of a lifetime.
Bro. You lost a Nike deal. You got the Nike, you lost a Nike deal. Come on, man.
Exactly. And Ja just picked the same Nike deal up and is gonna just throw on the ground like that. And what you say, Joe, yesterday? He blew more. He's about to blow more money than Dennis Schroeder.
Oh yeah, he about to be the new Dennis Schroeder. If Ja Morant get kicked out of the league, it's gonna be worse than when Dennis Schroeder didn't take that $80 million from the Lakers.
Yeah, we got a whole and like you said too from the beginning, this is your superstar franchise dude. So it's not like just we talked about yesterday. What's the difference between a superstar and a franchise guy? He's both. He's both. Yeah. So their wins depend on him, and the money depends on Ja.
This ain't Steven Jackson at the club letting it fly. This ain't Jamal Tinsley. This is Ja Morant.
Right.
That's like if Reggie Miller would have went out there and been wilding. You know what I'm saying? Imagine Reggie Miller rolling up to the Carvel with a shot. He's talking about yo running. You know what I'm saying? Like nah.
Like imagine Larry Bird do like.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I be talking about. When you look at this rap stuff, you don't see Garth Brooks. And no other country do, there's a shootout at the Texas barbecue spot. Garth Brooks been shot. You don't hear nothing like that. It's always with us. You know what I'm saying? You don't see the opera singers beefing. What's those great opera singers, dude? You don't see them beefing back in the days, but Mike and Prince was beefing though. I called that a long time ago. Mike and Prince really had beef.
Yeah, them niggas have real smoke. But
that's why why you ain't see him in We Are the World.
Yeah. But I always tell people sometimes in life you gotta give people what they want. You want to be that? Go ahead, bro. I ain't gonna stop.
And that right too, and that's the thing. I haven't heard one person say they feel bad about it. Yo, dog, you get what you did. You getting what you get right now. The hand you dealt, you dealt to yourself.
I'm not never feeling bad about no male or female that's worth $100 million. You ain't getting.
How can you?
You ain't getting.
That's why I be telling people. All these women be such and such look good. If you're rich, Beyonce should never look fat. Oprah should never look fat. You're rich. Like, seriously. Like, people like, how come she looks so? She has a team of people that help her look like this. When you poor, the only team is you. You're your team. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big fact. But hold on. We on the basketball subject.
Basketball.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah,
we
Joe
told you it's big Knicks energy.
Okay. For the
what we talking about, the Knicks.
Hold on. Let's Superman change in the booth. Let's Superman change in the booth.
I told you, but
let's make it uncomfortable real quick for these.
I'm very comfortable, and I'm not a hater. I never hate. I'm telling you.
Hopefully, people watching. See, I'm not. Hey, man, you the bro. I'm not talking about you per se. I'm saying for the people that just be hating for no reason. What's good?
Before Sunday,
good win last night.
Before Sunday, I told you the Celtics don't want to see us in the playoffs.
Okay,
they were without. Go ahead.
Hold on, because me and him was talking about this literally like 3-4 days ago, right? He was saying the same thing I hear now. The Celtics don't want to see us in the playoff. Was last night a playoff game or a regular season game? I said that I don't think you guys can beat the Celtics in a 7-game series because of matchups. Because when the game starts, it's going to be Brunson or Randall. Once they double team one of them, you don't want the ball in Barrett's hand. So it looks good in the regular season. You're right. That was a great regular season win. But I don't think you guys can beat them in a 7-game series when you play every other day. No.
Okay, now that's your opinion. My opinion, I've been saying this before the season started. So I want Fabian to be my proof. I wasn't jumping on the bandwagon. We was rolling. Like I said, I gave my Knicks a lot of flack early in the season. I apologize for that, but this is my honest opinion. There's 2 teams I'm afraid of in the East, Milwaukee and Toronto. Milwaukee is the best team in the NBA, top to bottom. Toronto, that's a bad matchup for us. They can put a lineup on the floor that's 6'8" and better, and we just can't match up. They got guys that can put the ball on the floor, can score, can hit the 3. Atlanta, that to me, that ship has sailed. I'm not scared of Cleveland. I'm not scared of Miami. I'm not scared of Philly. And I'm not scared of Boston. I think any of those 5 teams, I think we have an opportunity to upset either one of them. That's my honest opinion. I think the Knicks right now with Brunson, we a whole different team. We a whole different culture. And I think Tibbs is getting out his own way. And he's learning how to coach the new millennium way. And I think right now, man, listen. Them teams better. Listen. We don't need to be scared of them. They need to be afraid of us.
Here's my thing. Do you want to make the 4th seed over Cleveland? Because we have a better road record than a home record.
Bro,
That's weird.
Listen, as long as we don't play Toronto or Milwaukee in the first round, I'll take whoever, bro.
Now,
Toronto got to worry about that playing first.
Now, listen to this. You said that Thibodeau, there's two things. You said Thibodeau's starting to play with the millennial way, bro. He's been doing that for 3 weeks. Tom Thibodeau always does this. He show you flashes and then he retorts to his own ways. That's what he does. I've seen him open up the offense before and then it closes back down because he retorts to his own ways. That's why I don't worry about the regular season. Again, regular season you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put yourself in position for the playoffs. So when the playoffs come, will he go back to the old Thibodeau or will he stay millennial? That's number one. Number two, Boston and Milwaukee to me are the 2 top teams in the East and they are the deepest. Because Boston got a lot of dudes that's tall, and they're one of the best three-point shooter teams in the NBA. So you got Jaylen Brown, who's 6'7". You got Tatum, who's 6'7". You got Williams, that's 6'7". You got Horford, that's 6'10". You got Tom Lord, that's 6'10". They're a big team. The Celtics overlooked the Knicks yesterday, I think, because Brunson wasn't there. I saw Brunson in the hoodie. So they probably thought this was going to be a cakewalk, but it might end up going double overtime. Yes, you guys won the game, absolutely. But I'm talking about strictly playoffs, every other day, 7-game series when you got to prep for one team. So Quigley went off last night. I don't think Quigley's doing that every game in a 7-game series. He's not giving you 25 off the bench in a 7-game series.
So you telling me we just beat them at home? We on an 8-game winning streak. And
9.
Look, 9 games. No. We was on 8 until we beat them. So we just beat Boston at home. We on an 8-game winning streak, and you telling me Boston overlooked us? I disagree.
I totally disagree because we've been doing this. We've been doing this the last 2
in a hoodie.
We've been doing this the last 2 seasons minimum. That's why I said about RJ Barrett. You know how I feel about RJ Barrett. I'd rather bench him, but against the Celtics, I don't care if you start him, but he has to play the end of the game because he plays the Celtics well. For some reason, like you said, I agree with what you said about Tom Thibodeau. Yeah, we do have to see this come playoff time because people start clamming up and we see the real you. You start clamming up, you show us your flaws. All right, cool. Well, guess what? Boston treats them Garden games like a playoff game. You can feel it in the air. And you can see it from yesterday. That was an overtime game, bro. They were trying to win that game.
Yeah,
they were trying to win that game. They were missing Tom Lord also, by the way. We were missing Brunson, so they were missing a guy. But that's pretty much the Boston Celtics team. They're not changing up much from Robert Williams. He's been out for almost a year damn near on and off. That's who they are, and we play them really well. It's all about matchups. Styles make fights. The Milwaukee Bucks, they have a style for everybody. That's the problem. The Toronto Raptors they have our number because they're just long, like Two said. But them Boston Celtics, I ain't scared of them. I ain't scared of the 76ers like he said. But Cleveland's a different story.
You don't have to be scared. No one should be scared of anybody. It's about going out there and winning because we could say what we want to say right now in March, but the games have to be played. What I'm saying is when you really look at the teams and break them down, the Celtics have a better bench. The Celtics have better defense. The Celtics have a better offense. It's going to come down to the coaching. Is Thibodeau going to allow the guys to run or he going to do what Thibodeau do usually and retort?
Now, this is where I'm going to disagree with you at. I'm talking for the moment. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Right now, Boston does not have a deeper bench than us, and their offense is not that much better than us right now. This last month and a half, we've been playing great basketball.
You said a month, bro. The season is 7 months. You're talking about 1 month.
Right, Rozay, but I just told you, key word, I'm talking about right now. I'm in the moment, bro. Like, cool. I'm not going to let nobody take my moment. That's what everybody does with my Knicks. Everybody always want to take. No. I'm being for real. Every time we looking good, everybody find a reason to dump on us. But when other teams ain't looking good, don't nobody say nothing. Once again, I'm living for the moment. Right now, we are one of the best teams, one of the most exciting teams, one of the best offensive teams right now in the NBA. That's a fact.
The only team that has a record like us in the last 10 games, surprise, is the Milwaukee Bucks. 9-1.
Like, look, prime example. Ain't nobody dumping on Dallas. They 2-6 with the two dudes. Ain't nobody dumping on Clippers. They winless with Westbrook. Ain't nobody dumping on them.
People are dumping on them.
We dump on all day.
The Clippers finally won last night, right?
Clippers won. It's not about dumping on the Knicks. What I'm saying is, like you said, you're in the moment. So you care about regular season moments. I don't.
Yes, I care
because I've seen teams look really great in the playoffs and be shitty in the. I'm talking about my teams per se. I've seen my teams look so good in the regular season and then be shitty in the playoffs, and I've seen vice versa. What I'm talking about is strictly playoff play. You should be excited for right now. I'm talking about it counts when the playoffs start. That's what you're not playing for the regular season. You're playing to win a championship. You're playing to make the playoffs. When you're in a regular season, you're getting into a lather. You're trying to get into shape. But when the playoffs come, you have to take it to another level. It's the playoffs.
Let me explain why regular season is big. Look how big a regular season game was when the Giants beat the Patriots for that last game.
Okay.
Confidence, bro. Like, so you can. That's why I say I'm not gonna allow you or nobody to take my moment. The regular season for us is very big. Hold on, because it gives us confidence. Us beating Miami, us beating Boston. Those are teams that we eventually going to see in the playoffs that everybody in the world is going to pick them against us. So for us in regular season to play tough or even beat them, that's confidence. We need all that.
Miami is trash, bro. No, you should be Miami. They're in seventh space. They were 7th seed.
I'm not going to do that. They still got Jimmy
Butler. Bro, I don't care, bro. Again, you just told me it shouldn't be about it. That's the thing. Who cares who they got? Your team should beat them. Just like if I look at my team, if I feel like if we play the Suns, we played the Suns yesterday. Dallas should have won the game, but they lost. It's not about who they have. Your team should go out there and play because now it doesn't matter. You just said you're on this 9-game win streak. You're doing all this. What is it? Why are you scared of the Miami then?
No, don't do that. I didn't say scared, but don't sit there. No, you said
you
they
just
bums.
said scared.
No,
I said Miami is bums.
No, how is Miami bums?
They're in the 7th seed, bro.
What that mean, bro? They got Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo.
And what does that mean? It's not, bro. You acting like they doing something with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. They're in the 7th seed for a reason.
On certainty, and they got a good coach. Nah, bro. I disagree with.
You could keep disagreeing. Does Miami Heat? I know they're not winning a championship. They're not. They should not beat y'all if y'all got home court advantage.
Bro, it's only 2 teams that are going to win a championship.
Bro, that's obvious. But what I'm saying is if you just gave me this whole rundown that y'all top this, y'all top that, the Knicks should be able to beat the Miami Heat in the second round.
You put words in my mouth. I said we not ducking no smoke. I think we going to beat all of them. You basically saying we should just look over them. They bums. I'm saying
nobody said that. I said they're bums. That's me. I didn't say the Knicks organization are overlooking them. I said the Heat are bums. And you guys have a better record than them. You're the better team. That's why I said in the second round, y'all should beat them. If y'all play in the second round, I'm picking y'all to beat them. That's what I'm saying.
The Miami bums?
No. And hold on. But this is a sidebar comment that we had the other day. Do you think Jimmy Butler is a fringe Hall of Famer when it's all said and done?
I don't.
You asking me?
Yeah, but
no.
You think he's nowhere near Hall of Famer?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. Damn. I think he is.
Okay. What I'm saying is people got to understand. I've been watching Jimmy Butler a long time. He's had a few great moments. Absolutely. He got the Heat to the championship. Absolutely. This dude has never averaged over 25. He's never made an all-defense. He's never won a defensive player of the year. He's a solid player that's obviously on his 4th jersey for a reason. What I'm saying is when you look at the Miami Heat, Tyler Hero don't play no defense. Kyle Lowry ain't the same Kyle Lowry. Their team is not that good. They're in the playoff, yes, but they're not. The only reason they're that good, you could say, because they're in the East or whatever, but they're not going on a long playoff run with Kyle Lowry and what's the dude, Tyler Hero.
Yo, I disagree. They were just in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they just was in the yo, bro. I disagree with you. You bugging over here, bro. They not. They
were. Hold on, that's what I'm saying about Jimmy Butler. I don't know how you guys say this.
Why y'all talking about last year?
A shot.
You can say you in the moment, right? You're in the moment. We're in this season
because this is what they're bringing to a playoff series. This is what they're bringing to any game.
Yeah, you call them bums.
I'm calling them bums, bro. I'm calling them bums this season. You know, last season they was in second place, so they're in 7th this season. They were a 2nd seed last year. Now they're in the 7th place. I'm talking about right now, this March, they're bums. And I expect
what are the Pistons?
The Pistons, they're trash. They're hard. That's trash. Recycle. Well, you got 15 wins. I'm talking about bums as far as the Heat will make the playoffs, yes. But as I'm talking, as constructed right now, with the way you said the Knicks are playing in matchups, y'all should beat them in the second round if they make it. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, but listen. I said besides Milwaukee and Toronto, I said I think we'll beat them all. But I'm not going to agree with you and sit here and act like that's not going to be a competitive series and they're going to be pushovers.
Bro, I don't care about pushovers or competitive. Whether you win this, bro, as long as you win the series, I don't care if you win every game by 1 point. Who cares? I'm talking about winning a series. And right now, they're 7th. They're a bum. That means they play in the 2nd seed. You're a 7th seed. You're 1 seed from falling out. If you act like they're in the 5th seed, they're 1 or 2 games on a 2-game losing streak for being the 10th seed in the East.
I understand, but you can't convince me that team.
I'm not trying to. That's my point. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm telling you how I feel. And when I see this team, and when we have this conversation probably in 2 months during the playoffs, and they lose in the 1st or 2nd round, that's what I would say. This is their ceiling.
Bums is a harsh term.
That's my term. It's no one else's term. I say bum.
Yeah, but Miami's a tough out for anybody because of the coaching.
Okay, being a tough out and winning a series, you can still be a tough out. You can still be all that and lose.
Yeah,
you don't have to get blown out.
Especially when you have a coach that you're saying is tried and tested in the playoffs, and he brought teams to a championship and 1 shot away from a championship last year to being in the championship. Same dude.
That was last year.
Team.
I'm not sleeping on it, but you're talking about last year. We're talking about this season. We're not talking about nothing. And that's what I'm talking. I don't talk in past tense. I'm talking about right now. As the NBA stops, if the season stopped right now, the Celtics and Miami play in the 1st round. The Knicks will play Cleveland. I'm talking about right now. So going forward in the playoffs, I feel that the Knicks should beat them.
If you're in a playoff
and I don't even like the Knicks.
Nah. If you're in a playoff race, if you're in a playoff spot, you can't be a bum. I disagree.
Okay, yes, you can. That's why you're AFC for a reason. That's why you're AFC. That's why only the 4 top seeds get home court for a reason.
So if you AFC, that means you're a bum.
Bro, that's teams that made the playoffs having 39 wins some season. Like the year when the Saints made the playoffs when they were 7-9. Come on, bro. You can be a bum and make the playoffs. That means you're in the playoffs, but you're not gonna win.
Bums don't make the playoffs.
That's not true. A lot of bums make the playoffs.
I disagree.
That's why they started making the play-in tournament, because bums are getting in the playoffs. Minnesota shouldn't have been in the playoffs last year, but they was because of the play-in tournament. Like, there's plenty of bums that made it.
But why Minnesota? They had a solid season. They got a little good young squad.
Minnesota had, like you just said, they were in the play-in tournament and made the play-in because of the play-in tournament. They're still bums. No one expected Minnesota to get out the 1st round. That's a bum. No one expected to get the 1st round.
You think Orlando's a bunch of bums?
Absolutely. They're not doing nothing. They got Pablo, but they're not doing nothing.
Memphis made the play-in, I think, a year or 2 ago. They was bums as well. Huh?
They was bums, and they were bums at the time because they were struggling to get into the playoff. They had to get into do the play-in tournament. That says enough. Just like the Lakers. If the Lakers get in the playoffs because of the play-in tournament, they're bums right now.
Beat Golden State in the play-in 1 year.
Again, you keep talking about the play-in. The only reason they made the playoffs because this play-in tournament was invented. It's supposed to be 8 teams. They're trying to get the 11 through 10 in because those teams are trash.
No, the Lakers bums?
They not doing that.
Yes, they're trash. The Lakers are fighting for playoffs while trying to get in the play-in tournament. They tell you how bad you are if you're fighting to get in the play-in seed.
They're 2 games back from the Mavericks. So how are they bums? They're 2 games back from the 5th seed.
Okay, just like the Heat are 2 games back from the 10th seed because of the standings. But right now, Dallas is 7th. Just like Miami 7. We're talking about right now. Everybody's close. If the Lakers get on a 5-game win streak, they could be in a 4th seed for me. We're not talking about that. We're talking about play-in standards that were invented 2 seasons ago. Because bad teams.
Miami is 5 games ahead of the 11th seed, whatever you said.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So if they lose, anything can happen. What I'm saying is, when you're an 8th, 7th seed, you're there for a reason.
Nah, this is way more competitive than this. This is not the old days where you had a sub-500 team making the playoffs.
We're not talking about the old days. We're talking about in general. Even teams right now, there's an 8th seed that's going to get swept. If Milwaukee plays someone, you're giving – who's an 8th seed right now in the East?
Atlanta.
They're getting swept by Milwaukee because they're trash. That's my point. They're in the playoffs, but they're not doing nothing. Like, stop you acting like the Atlanta's doing something. They're not going to beat the Bucks. Because they're trash.
Trash. That's what I'm saying. That's how you speak. That's how the trash and bum. That's what gets the audience going.
No, it's my lingo when that's what I say for things. I don't mean something. No one can listen to me. These are NBA players. Let's not act like I'm not talking about talent and making the NBA. I'm talking about when you look into this team like when the Bulls was playing Cleveland in the first round back in the 90s, you know Cleveland had no shot. They were trapped. They wasn't beating the Bulls. Certain teams, this is easy. They losing. But then sometimes the teams are competitive. Yes.
In the playoffs, you always got a shot, bro. I disagree with everything you're saying.
Okay.
I disagree with everything you're saying.
We were just talking about Eli Manning. Go ahead, my bad, too.
Hold on, real quick. Atlanta surprised everybody, made it to the Eastern Conference Cup. Ain't nobody think that.
I did. I picked Atlanta to beat them because I knew they was going to beat them. You can ask we was arguing about this at work, bro. When I saw the way the Philly was struggling with Trae Young, I said the Hawks are going to beat them. And they did because you had bum-ass Ben Simmons. No one can score but Embiid. You understand what I'm saying?
What was their seeding? They were the 4th seed?
I think it was 4 versus 7.
Yeah, because they beat us. They beat us that year.
Yeah, bro. Atlanta, I picked Atlanta to win. Listen, bro, I watch basketball. There's teams that you can look at the team and say, yeah, they can beat them. Like last year, when I picked Dallas to beat Phoenix, no one believed me. Everybody was laughing at me. But I said, no, we match up well against them.
But you missing what I'm saying is, I can sit here and say, yeah, I picked Atlanta to beat Philly. Okay, cool. I'm saying in the beginning of the season, nobody thought Atlanta was getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's my point.
Okay. Yeah, that's an outlier. That's what you call an outlier season. That does happen, but we're talking about teams that are not doing that. And right now, the number 8 seed again, you said is Atlanta. It's not going to be an outlier season. They're going fishing in the first round versus Milwaukee.
Outlier season. I'm saying if you can make the playoffs, that doesn't mean you trash or you're a bum.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Everyone has a puncher's chance. How many people? There were a lot of boxers that Mike Tyson knocked out until he got knocked out. You didn't believe those guys was going to beat Mike Tyson. You did not believe this guy has a chance against Mike Tyson. Nobody did. That's why it was so crazy when Buster Douglas knocked his ass out. You know teams that are not going to win. You know just because the team make the playoff they have no chance. You can look at the team, they have no chance.
I disagree.
I'm talking about the bottom of the seedings. If you're an 8th and 7th seed, you're there for a reason.
I disagree, bro. Hey, man, it's many teams that was the 8th seed that make it to the championship.
Okay, did they win the championship? Thank you. I said an outlier. That's an outlier.
Not many, too. Let's go.
It's called an outlier. It's an outlier.
You're going too far.
Stop moving the whatever that fucking saying.
Bro, I've been saying outlier for the last 3 minutes. You probably didn't hear it. I said outlier. That's an outlier season when you said,
what 8 seed have gone to the finals? The Knicks?
Listen, the Knicks did no. I'm not saying a whole bunch. I'm saying like even
Denver beat Seattle.
Golden State, we believe. What I'm saying is when you get in there, you have a chance. My point is you're not gonna sit here and tell me an 8 seed that makes the playoffs is bums when every team is fighting to make the playoffs.
Especially this season.
Getting in the playoffs is cool, but when you're getting in the playoffs and you're winning 37 games and it's an 82-game season, when you're winning 40 games and it's the 82, it's a reason you're winning that amount of games. It's only a few teams is going to have 50, 60 wins maybe, but if you're winning 30, 41, 39 games, you're down there for a reason. That's my point. I'm not talking about the upper echelon first two. I'm talking about there's teams.
Other teams.
There's teams that you have seen in the playoff that this team is trash. We're gonna wash them. That happens all the time. When Tampa played the Eagles with Jalen Hurts that year, I said Tampa Bay's gonna destroy the Eagles, and they did 30-3 because the Eagles was trash, but they was in the playoffs.
So look, I'm gonna give you the bottom 7 teams in the East. Detroit, Charlotte, Orlando, Chicago, Indiana, Washington, and then you have Toronto and Atlanta. The only team that that you could consider a bump to me is Washington on down, but Toronto and Atlanta, they got a chance of making the playoffs. And they're a matchup problem for a lot of teams. You can't be a matchup problem and be a bum.
Bro,
you can't do that.
Okay. Yes, you can, because there's teams that beat. There's a lot of bad teams that beat good teams. Y'all crack me up like you've never seen a bad team beat a good team. I've seen plenty of bad teams during the regular season that are horrible beat good teams. And if that team make the playoffs, they get washed. It's a long 82-game, 7-2 game. You're not going to go undefeated, so you're going to lose games. I'm talking about when I'm looking at the standings right now, both of y'all just said Milwaukee's this, Milwaukee's that. Atlanta has no chance. That's what I'm talking about. You know Atlanta's not beating them. Atlanta might get a game. Yeah, health with both teams. We're talking health. I'm not talking about injury. Atlanta might get a game. But you know Atlanta's not beating these guys in the 7 games. That's what I'm talking. You just know when you watch certain things, yeah, this is over. That's what I'm talking about. You know
why you're contradicting yourself? You know why you're contradicting yourself? Because you can't say that the playoffs is where people are made. And all of a sudden, you got a chance to make the playoffs. Trae Young has a chance to. DeJounte Murray has never made the playoffs.
Okay.
If he comes out and shows out, we want to see that. He
but
can carry their team and do anything against the Milwaukee Bucks. We're going to go, oh, shit.
What does that have to? I'm not talking about individual play. You're going to have play. They're in the league. I'm talking about winning a series. I don't care. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about team versus team, 1 versus 8.
Yeah.
Milwaukee is going to destroy Atlanta. Atlanta might get a game, but you're not saying, oh, wow, DeAndre Murray's going to average 50 and beat the Bucks. You know that's not going to happen.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying that I'd rather you go try to make the damn playoffs with 2 stars on your team and see what you're made of. That's what I want to see. Against the best team in the league?
That. Nobody's denying that because that's
by
what I'm
calling them bums, that is saying that.
Again, let's get one thing straight. Just because I say bum, that's what I feel. And the way I use bum may not be the way you see bum. The way I say trash, we're not talking about that. Those are my words. I'm saying just like everyone here has their own opinion. He says respectfully you disagree and you say your things. That's what y'all do. I'm saying when you look at the 2 teams, we've been watching sports for years. How many 8th seeds, how many 7th seeds did you really say, oh, wow, they're going to beat this team? That's why I go back to the Bulls. When the Bulls was running through the NBA, you knew that whoever that 8th seed was had no chance. They might get a game, but they're not beating the Bulls. When the Lakers and the Celtics, those teams are rolling, even if you see a team like the Cavs, would it shock me if the Cavs beat somebody? No, because they're a 5th seed for a reason. They're a 4th seed for a reason. I'm talking about the bottom teams that are scrapping because right now Atlanta is in the 7th seed, right? What if they lose 5? What if they lose 5 in a row? Who comes up? So you're going to tell me the team that's in 11th is better than the Hawks? That's what I'm trying to. You can't go by that because the Hawks might not make the playoffs right now. What if another team comes up and take that spot? And then they play in the Bucks.
So prime example. All right, because we let you talk. Listen, I'm saying if Indiana get the 8th seed, Indiana is bums.
Yes, they're not beating Milwaukee.
Yeah, we're not talking about beating Milwaukee. You keep saying beating Milwaukee
because that's the number 1 seed. You said 8th seed.
Because my problem is, okay, they may not beat Milwaukee, but for one, you have a chance if you get there, and for 2, them ain't no bums. Ain't no bums.
Okay, the Pacers are now 29-36. They give up more points than they score. They're bums. They have a negative 4 because they give up 117 and they average 115. They're bums. The Hawks are 32-32. They score 117 and give up damn near 117. Okay, they're not beating anybody. They can't stop anybody. You can look at these teams right now. Washington's in 10th. Let's say Washington overtakes the Hawks for the AC. You think Washington's beating anybody? No, they're bums. They're going to lose in the first round.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. You all you do is talk on about how big you are. You don't even care about regular season. You care about playoffs. How do you give yourself a chance? How do you become a superstar? How do you become anything if you don't get to the playoffs and make your mark?
Okay, this is what I said. Let's try this again. The regular season is for that. I just said that the regular season is for you to get in shape. The regular season is for you to do your individual thing. Because individual stats, the scoring title, the defensive plays, all that's regular season. So when someone's a superstar, when Derrick Rose was playing in the regular season and won MVP, we saw what he could do. Then we saw him in the playoffs like, oh, he's not just a regular season person. There's guys that look good. Like James Harden had his crazy moments, MVP. And in the playoffs, he's on MIA. It happens all the time. What I'm saying is, I don't get caught up in the regular season antics because I know the playoffs is the ultimate goal. And there's a lot of teams because there's 8 teams making it. It's 16 teams making it. So you're not going to tell me that there's 16 good teams. There's your top 8 then there's your top 4, then there's your top 2. All I'm saying, the bottom echelon, yeah, you're in the playoff, but you literally don't have a chance unless it's some great outlier and someone's like Trae Young's averaging 50 and they just go on this run. That's not going to happen. That's all I'm saying.
No, but you said all that, but that's still not making your point. You can get to the playoffs and prove that you're not a bum.
We're not saying about proving you're not a bum. I just said Atlanta's garbage. They're bums, and when they get in the playoff, they're not getting out the first round. No one's saying about proving nothing. Atlanta's not beating anybody.
Hold on. So all we ever hear about when the Bucks won and when Phoenix went to the championship is that people got injured, and that's the reason why they went there. KD's cast got hurt. Whoever the Clippers, Kawhi got hurt. That's all we ever hear about. So if Giannis, God forbid, gets hurt, Atlanta has a chance to go to the third round.
We're talking about injuries. We're talking about health.
Let me ask you this question.
But that happens.
Hold on, let me ask you this question. It's not because you're a Dallas fan, because they got 2 superstars. They're in the 7th seed. Let's see let's say the first round they play Denver and they lose. Dallas is bums?
Dallas is bums because we should be better than that. You know why we in the 7th seed? Because before we traded for Kyrie, we were in the 4th seed. We traded our team. We traded defense. You can shake your head. The same way you talk about your Knicks, I know about my team. And you keep talking about. Hold on.
Dallas.
Hold on. You just said Dallas. You just asked me a question about Dallas, but you're saying it's not about Dallas. Like I said, they are bums if they're in the 7th seed and they lose because they have the talent. They shouldn't be bums. So they bums now because they're in the 7th seed. Yes. All right. If right now Dallas is you acting like that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yo, we laughing at you, my nigga, because you bugging, nigga.
No, I'm not bugging.
He's who he is.
Bro, no, I'm not bugging. How am I bugging?
Yo, how are you bums with Kyrie and Luka? Those are not bums.
Again, Brooklyn just had Kyrie, right? What did they do?
Kyrie and Luka is not bums.
Again, I know Luka and Kyrie not bums. We're not talking about individual players. We're talking about a team. I just told you before we got Kyrie, Dallas was in the 4th seed. Since we got Kyrie, we lost like 6 games. So we don't have the same team that we had. That's why we're dropping. Now when the playoffs come, we were a top 4 seed without Kyrie.
He got there though.
Again, we were a top 4 seed. What does 3 games have to do with us also losing 6 games? Ask us what's our record on our last 10. We're 4-6. We're 4-6 in our last 10.
No, because you're trying to throw Kyrie under the bus like he can't do nothing.
I'm not trying to throw Kyrie under the bus. What are you talking about?
When Kyrie first got there, y'all won 3 games in a row. Luka came and then y'all went on a losing streak.
Bro, again, winning 3 games in a row. We also lost 6 games. We won 3, but we're 4-6 in our last 10. So what does those 3 games have to do with anything? We're still losing. What I'm trying to tell you is, listen to me. Again, before Kyrie got there, we were in the 4th seed. Kyrie's here now. They've been playing. I think that this is their 5th or 6th game together.
Kyrie got there. Y'all still was in the 4th seed. Y'all won 3 in a row.
And so now
they're bums now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raymond. Because we're falling. So if we were still up there, we wouldn't be bummed. That means that if we lose too many games, we're going to be in the play.
So hold on, but stay right there though. Because the Western Conference to me is wide open unless you're the Nuggets. Everybody else, you got a chance against every team in this series because who plays defense?
I don't believe in the Nuggets.
Okay, so even the Nuggets. So now you have 1 through 8. So the entire conference is bums.
I'm not talking about the entire conference. And I know what I said. I said we're talking about the bottom of the seedings. They're at the bottom for a reason. There's been plenty that's why it was so amazing when Denver beat the Seattle that year, because no one picked Denver to win because they should have not won. You can have teams win, but I'm talking about when you watch a team and you looking at the team like, damn, when the Patriots was undefeated, who they play in the first round? You didn't think they was going to beat the Patriots? You knew the Patriots was going to wash them, right? Well, that's what I'm talking about. You know when a team is just better. And there's teams that's fighting and clawing, but they're also fighting and clawing for a reason. If you were fighting and clawing, that means you're not that good. You're fighting and clawing. And then also they added this tournament, the play-in tournament. 5 years ago, they didn't have this. So a lot of teams can get in because you win 2 games. And do you really deserve it? Come on, bro. This has been happening for years.
You won when you were supposed to win. That's the whole point. You win when you're challenged. That's the whole point of the playoff. That's the whole point of the rankings. You're shooting to get the 8th, 6th seed. You rather get the 4th seed to have home court advantage.
No, I said
you testing your players out.
I said if
right.
you win the play-in tournament, you deserve to be the 8th seed.
If you're the Lakers right now, all these injuries are going through. Say what you want about the Lakers. Yeah. LeBron is hurt again. AD's always hurt. Your job right now is to shoot for that 8th seed, to shoot for the play-in. So you can rest and do whatever you've been doing. If you can't compete to do that, that to me is a bum. You have a bum mentality.
Remember, you're playing other bums in the seeding tournament. Yeah. In the play-in tournament, you're playing bad teams. So when you beat those bad teams and you come to 8th seed and go against a real team, you get destroyed.
You just said Denver wasn't a real team.
I'm not using Denver. I'm not talking about Denver.
That's what they would play.
Okay, so I feel that Denver would beat the Lakers because the Lakers aren't that good. You're not going to beat nobody with a humble LeBron and without AD. Come on, now be realistic. AD's not beating Denver by themselves if they happen to get to the tournament. They're not going to beat Denver.
No, I'm saying if everybody's all healthy.
That's different if everyone's healthy. But if you got a LeBron James team and y'all in the 8th seed, then y'all bums because LeBron's not that low. When we see LeBron down in the 8th seed, when he's healthy. I think one time that was with the Lakers. They were the 7th seed after they won the championship. But his career, he's never been.
We never seen LeBron at 38 either. Like, this is what happens.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But we also never seen a LeBron. When LeBron was 35, they wasn't that. We've seen LeBron a top 5 seed. When you're in the 7th, 8th spot, you're down there for a reason. That's what I'm saying, bro.
The Lakers, listen, if the Lakers were to jump in and make the 8th seed right now, make the play-in and then make the playoffs, I mean, just to get into the play-in and get to the 8th seed, that's an accomplishment, bro. You can't, like, what AD's been doing the last couple of games. He's changed. Everybody was calling him a bum last year. I'm like, bro, he tore his whatever up. For them to compete to make the 8th seed, that's not a bum mentality. A bum mentality is what the Spurs are doing.
I didn't say they had bum mentalities. I'm talking about when I'm watching them. You want my definition.
Yes,
we know what bum means. My definition of a bum is somebody that they're not gonna do anything. It's, like I said, regular season. These are regular season. Okay, let me rephrase. Let me start saying bums. How about if I say regular season teams? Is that better, or regular season guys? Is that better? Is it better if I say regular season people?
His sarcasm is so crazy, my nigga.
Should I? Because I'm asking you. Because when I say bums,
so that means it's 18. That means it's 32 teams in the league. It's basically 30 bums.
That's bro. Thank you. Why you think only 16 teams make the playoff? Because everybody can't make it, bro. Think about it. Why you think dudes? Hold on. Early in this conversation, you said you rock with the Saints. You got family down there. Why you think they was wearing bags when they had all them years down there? Because they were horrible. Everybody
they were not the last seed. They were no seed.
Bro,
they were bums. Bro, that was the definition of it.
Okay, like I said, when teams are in the playoffs, when you're a lower seed, 9 times out of 10, you're down there for a reason. That's why I gave off. It's not like Atlanta is 50-32. They're 32-32. That's not good. That's why they're in the 7th seed. That's my point.
Can I ask you a question? With certain teams and certain organizations, this is no excuse. You could be trades, it could be injuries, it could be inside mess. Like I said, Trae Young and the coach beefing. So I'm just saying. I mean, bum is your word. Hey, man, it is what it is. I just feel to get in the playoffs, I think it's an accomplishment. I don't care what seed you are. If you're the 8th seed and you get in, to me, that's not a bum. A bum is 12th seed. A bum is 11th seed. But if you're in the 8th seed, I don't consider you a bum. I'm just sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, we did want to touch on Phoenix Suns as in out. Did we see anything from there that changed our minds with Phoenix and Dallas?
I mean, only go ahead, too. You go first.
No, I mean, real quick. I think I like Phoenix, but watching that game, I don't think they're the clear cut. I don't think Chris Paul is going to step up to the plate. I like Devin Booker, but he's not a superstar yet. Even though I like him and Durant together because of the efficiency of Durant and the shooting. I don't like Phoenix as much as I thought I would like them, seeing them play.
I was going to ask you that. What changed? Because me and Joe agree about that already. We said you add KD and it doesn't matter. You play no defense.
No. Right. But I think Phoenix, they don't have. I think their depth is real light. They right now got maybe 6, 7 strong. When I think in the playoffs you may need 8, 9 strong. And I think Chris Paul, I don't think you can rely on him too much. I just defensively I don't like him. And like I said, you know, certain matchups for them is gonna be dangerous. I think Clippers is a dangerous matchup for them. I think the Lakers, if they're fully healthy, is a dangerous matchup for them. And people keep sleeping. If Curry and them can get it together and stay healthy, I think that's a dangerous matchup for them. I don't think it's just clear cut them. And watching that game the other day with Dallas, Dallas should have beat them. So in Dallas, literally just has Luka and Kyrie. So I don't like Phoenix as much as I thought I would. I still think they should make the finals, but I don't think it's going to be sweet.
I think me and Joe agree about this. Like, I didn't see what they added. Like, I get it. You traded your best defensive player. They had no depth, like you said. So now I don't see a difference between from the Kings to whoever the 8 seed is, the bum team, as Joe would say. I don't see a difference. Y'all don't play defense, and you score 140 points. Okay, so we might see a bunch of Sacramento versus Clipper games. I don't see how you're gonna win. That's why I think the Joker is the difference maker for the Western Conference. And if he doesn't go to the conference finals or the finals, we got to start throwing shots at the King.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this about the Joker. He fits in that no defense category that you guys were talking about. That's the only thing the Joker can't do is stop anybody. But back to Phoenix. Phoenix is like this. Like Tu just said, watching that Dallas game, we lost because it took Devin Booker having 36. It took KD having almost 36. Think about it. We only lost the game by 4 points. Luka started the game off 0 for 7. He was hobbled. He was 8 for 23. Luka had a bad game. Yeah, he had 34, but he had a good 34. So when Luka plays at Luka's game, and like I said, that's the difference when people keep talking about the addition of Kyrie. Before Kyrie got here, look what Luka has done with less. So Kyrie comes in. Luka's getting rest now. When you sit Luka down, hopefully you don't lose the lead. Before that was happening, you sat Luka down, you're up 9, he sits down, you're down 4. Now you got someone who can hopefully maintain the flow of the offense. Now, if Dallas was playing a team like, let's say, Memphis, I don't think if Memphis was full strength, they beat us because defensively they could stop us. We were playing a bad defensive team also. Like Tu said, Phoenix, you can't stop us, but we were getting stops. Just that Luka missed the bunny. Think about it. Luka missed the bunny, he fouled, and we lost the game by 4. When you have KD, honestly, that should have been a blowout. But like I was telling him earlier, certain teams just match up well. This rivalry that's starting to brew, it's before KD got there, but now you're adding KD.
Right.
But Luka, remember, this isn't a rivalry until Phoenix beat us in the playoffs. We already did what we were supposed to do. So is it really a rivalry? But then, because Devin Booker's front running right now because you got KD, and that's cool. You're supposed to.
So you like what your man Luka said? Yeah, he started talking at 3 seconds.
Think about it. What Luka said last year. Remember, they was up 2-0. Devin Booker was doing a lot of talking last year. Devin and Luka came out there. This is take away everything. There's certain people, when you look at them, you can say they got it. Luka's not scared of anybody. He's not scared of anybody. Luka shows up. He had a bad 34-point game for him because he was 8 for 20. That's a bad game. 34 points is a bad game for him. He shows up.
My bad, Joe. I think it was Rockstar Mel or homie on IG. He said, "Yo, Luka got that swag. Like he got a brick in the trunk." Like
Luka, listen, Luka the coldest white boy since Larry Bird as far as the way they carry himself. Not exact game, but Larry had that swag. Luka, and remember, Luka just turned 24, so he came in the league NBA ready. He just has to mature and play defense. But KD going to the Suns, you have to say you will look at them as the favorite as far as because of KD. But Raymond's right. To me, you have to beat if Denver's the number 1 seed. They've been number 1 all season. It should be Denver and the Suns in the Western Conference Finals if we get that. But I'm just saying, and I told Raymond, I'm giving Phoenix the Western Conference Finals because, bro, they only gonna have 20-some games together. It's not really good enough to get a real long enough playing together. So I'm giving them, if they don't make the Western Conference Finals to me, then I'll say something. Minimum. They don't have to make the finals to me, just the Western Conference.
And everybody keeps saying, like, fully healthy, the Clippers this, the Clippers that. I'm going back to what you said, too. Is Gary Payton Jr., is he available to come back by playoff time if he's healthy?
I thought he was back on Golden State.
He is. Right, but he's injured.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I don't know how bad it is.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm off the Golden State bandwagon. I'm being honest, man. They need you. Listen, man. They got.
I thought you just said they're scared.
No. They are scary, fully healthy. But what I'm saying is, how long are we gonna keep going with that? Like sometimes niggas just got to be real. I like Golden State. They fun to watch, but Curry and Clay is not enough right now. The way that West is, the way the NBA is, these teams is built. They stack. Niggas is young. Curry is little, bro. So I'm saying they got to make some moves. I don't see them as a threat as everybody else, but I'm going to give them respect and props because they just won a championship. So I'm always remember if you're a fighting dog and you won 1,000 fights, I'm always going to give you a fighting chance, even if you're a little older. So I'm going to give them their respect. But personally, the Clippers, I'm over saying, yo, if they fully healthy, they this, they that. I'm over that shit. We got a fully healthy Dallas. We got a fully healthy Phoenix. We got a fully healthy Denver. Let's focus on the teams that's healthy. I ain't doing that shit no more. I'm tired of doing that.
But let me say something about the Clippers real quick. This was talking to your man, Dime Dropper. Remember what I told him? The Clippers have done nothing as an organization. So they thinking because they got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they winning championships. But as an organization, you've never won. That's what I say. People get so hyped on paper now. Paul George showed he's not a number one. Kawhi Leonard, we was waiting for him to see, yeah, you won the championship in Toronto, absolutely. But when you went to Toronto, that team they had some players over there. Siakam, VanVleet, you had Kyle Lowry, but now you're on your own team now. And every time I see Kawhi Leonard, he's in a New Balance warm-up suit with them bum-ass New Balance, his New Balance. We rock New Balance, but not his. You understand what I'm saying? So when will people think, oh, this is our year? It's never been the Clippers year. It's never been the Clippers year. So that's the reality that I understand that you're talking about. But when it comes to Golden State, I'll say this, like Raymond said, the West is so wide open. What if Golden State gets Memphis again like they did last year? Memphis is not a mature team. They could probably beat Memphis again, right? I'm just saying. It's all about matchup. And now these next couple of 20 games, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't pick Golden State to win last year, but they did. Like you said, I respect them that they won, right? But looking at what they did last year, you're gonna have a healthy Curry because he missed games. He's gonna have his legs. These 20 games get his legs under him.
What about
you? Don't want to, huh?
What about Wiggins? Is he gonna come back?
Listen, I'm just like you said. This is all based on. Let's just say everyone's healthy. Okay. And if everyone's healthy on Golden, and like I said, I don't think Memphis could beat Golden State. Phoenix versus Golden State to me would be better than Golden State. Than Denver versus Phoenix because it's gonna be. You got bad blood. You got Draymond Green versus KD. You got Devin Booker going. You got Chris Paul going at it with Steph Curry, and they got history. That to me, I would rather see Golden State versus Phoenix in the East Western Conference Finals because that's going to be a show. Because
in the final, Western Conference Finals.
I'm sorry, in the Western Conference Finals, if that was to happen, because of the bad blood. Because of the bad blood makes it better. Like you got KD playing against Golden State. You got Chris Paul and Steph Curry don't like each other. You got Devin Booker now. It's going to be
real quick. Cut you off. I want to see Phoenix and Dallas in the Western Conference Finals, my dude. I'm sorry.
Then if that happens, then we that's what I'm saying. That's the only way it's a rivalry if Phoenix beat us in the playoffs, not if we get beat before we play them.
I'm saying to me, the better matchup, Phoenix and Dallas, because it's real. Yeah. I don't think Phoenix and Golden State is real smoke. I'm just being honest. Phoenix and Dallas, that shit is real smoke.
Yeah.
But hold on. That's only smoke from their side, really, because they salty still. They salty. Let's be honest. They salty.
That's what I'm saying.
They salty.
That shit is going to be hard-nosed. That shit is going to be talking shit. That shit
is salty because they messing with a white boy that's the real deal. He's the real deal. And they know, and Booker knows that because now I got KD now. You feel me?
Speaking about your white boy, I know we 2 hours in. I don't know if you want to close it out with that. No. Y'all were talking about it yesterday.
I got to remember, we can go 4 more minutes, 3:45. We can shut it down.
Okay.
You cool with that, Rozay?
Yeah, he just want to talk about annoying. Go ahead, so we can talk about it real quick.
All right.
Yeah. You just mentioned your white boy, Fearless.
Oh, Dame.
First Dame.
Luka.
First Dame. That's Tuesday.
Know how I feel. Yeah,
we didn't record it, but why?
So
why is who better than who, and why?
I want two to go first. Let two go first.
Okay, and I'll let you close out. So let me just get this off my chest. Luka is a great player. Luka's going to go down probably as one of the greatest Is he going to win rings? I don't know. Now, this is why I think Dame Lillard is one of the best guards in the league. This is why I think he's better than Luka. Dame Lillard, ever since Weber State, nobody knew he was going to be this good. Went to Portland. He's never played with a top 10 player. He's never played with a Hall of Fame player. All his teams been mediocre. All his coaches, mediocre. He's dragged them to the playoffs every year when the West was really the West. Not this West that's wide open. When he was in the West, it was basically Golden State and Houston running that shit. He got to the Western Conference Finals. He did all that on his own. He can score the ball like Luka. Only thing I give Luka, he's bigger and stronger, yes. But Luka's not more athletic. They both not that athletic. He can shoot better and deeper than Luka from three. Luka may go to the basket a little better. Luka probably have more rebounds. The assists, I'm being real, that's up for grabs. But to me, I think Dame does more with less than Luka, and I think he scores just as good and he shoots better. So I give the edge to Dame Lillard.
Okay, now he said that Dame does less with Luka, right? Didn't Dame Lillard play with C.J. McCollum? Is C.J. McCollum nice?
Yes.
Raymond, is C.J. McCollum nice?
Yeah, he's good.
He played with LaMarcus Aldridge. I remember LaMarcus Aldridge in a lot of, like 3-4 All-Star games he played with Dame, right?
Overrated.
Right? Hold on. I didn't interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. Raymond, when he played with LaMarcus Aldridge, did LaMarcus Aldridge make some All-Star teams?
I'll look it up.
They
Sure.
made, okay. He also, right? Dame Lillard made the Western Conference Finals in 2019 and got swept. He had C.J. McCollum there because I remember that series because Dame was playing bad and C.J. was actually having a better series. That's cool. Now you're talking about Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic just turned 24. He just got Kyrie last month. So since y'all like to reference in the past, these past 3 seasons, Luka's been starting for 4 seasons. His past 3 seasons, he's been an all-NBA first team. That means he's the best point guard in the league last 3 years. He averages more points, more assists and rebounds, and more steals this season than Dame. Right now, Dame's team not in the playoffs, but Luka's team is. He didn't have Kyrie until he got Kyrie 3-4 weeks ago. So he had his team in the playoffs without Kyrie. Luka, to me, when you look at Luka, he came in the NBA ready. Dame had to work. You're right. Since Weber State, you're right. But we're not talking about backstory. We're talking about in the league. And if you look at Luka, more points, more assists, more rebounds, more steals, what is he really better? What is Dame really better at? Okay, you're talking about shooting the 3. I've seen Luka shoot from 3 too. The object is to put the ball in the basket and for your team to win. And right now, Luka's team has the better record without Kyrie, and Dame is not in the playoffs right now. Dame had 71 points. I saw other people had 71. Luka had 60, 20, and 10. He had 20 rebounds. I told you the only way that Dame could get 20 rebounds is playing 2K. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Luka is 24 years old. He's already a 3-time All-NBA. That means you're the best point guard. They only pick one at that position for the team. Dame's never made an all. He probably made second team, but Luka did it 3 years in a row. So right now, he's the reigning best point guard in the league if that's the case.
Well, all NBAs?
Yeah. Luka got 3 in a row.
Dame got 6.
I said last year. Where was Dame at last year? Was he second or first?
No, he got hurt last year. There's no way.
I just said last 3 years, Luka was the number 1 point guard.
Quiet. He asked me to keep quiet. I just say that again, Fabe. Great mediating. Go ahead. What you say?
Good. 6-time All-NBA, 7-time All-Star, Dame Lillard. Here's the thing though with Marcus Aldridge too. Marcus Aldridge got 5 All-NBA appearances.
Man, I don't want get out of here. That nigga's not a Hall of Famer. He ain't never.
Who did Luka have that was doing that? Luka ain't had nobody. He just got Kyrie.
Get out of here.
You're acting like Luka had this great team.
But remember, how long Dame been in the league now?
Damn, 12. Is how long?
Now it's about how long.
Look, you didn't even let me finish. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm basing
11 seasons.
11 seasons. Luka's been in there 4. I'm
5.
saying, okay, well, this is his 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So hold on. So go back and look at what Dame was doing at Luka's age. And that's my point why he's better. When Dame had all that help, he had LaMarcus Aldridge when he was young. Luka ain't had none of that.
You saying all that help? Ain't no help, man.
He was a 5-time.
Man,
You see what I'm?
help, man.
Just because you don't like him, don't act like he. I don't like LaMarcus Aldridge neither, but he was an All-Star and he was an All-NBA player. That means something. Luka didn't have that. Luka's never had that.
All-NBA, not just once either. It wasn't a fluke too. That was five times. Five-time champion.
Didn't LaMarcus average 20 and 10 or something like that? Like, come on, bro. And then you had CJ.
Now listen, I like CJ. Once again, if we name the top 20 players in the NBA today, CJ's not in there. Stop.
Okay, but what I'm saying is he's not a top NBA 20, but he's better than what Luka had. That's my point. He just got Kyrie. Dame had these guys before. Go look at that team last year and look at that roster that Luka had. Go look at the team and we had Porzingis on it. That roster was horrible.
Listen,
Marcus Cully, Stein, and those guys. Come on. Luka had gas station attendants, bro.
Listen, I respect what you're saying, but I think Dame Lillard, healthy, give him a team like all these other niggas is getting with good coaches and all that. Hey, man.
He got Chauncey Billups. I like Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, Chauncey Billups is cool. He's cool.
Chauncey.
He's cool. He's cool.
But hold on. You keep talking about give Dame all these players. He had CJ and LaMarcus Aldridge, bro. What? Listen to me. You're hold on. I can understand if LaMarcus Aldridge, he had 5 All-NBAs, 5 All-Stars. That means he's doing his job. And he was with.
Luka never had that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Luka
never had that.
He's
a 5-time All-NBA.
Hold on. Luka right now.
You're talking about right now. I'm talking about
right now.
Hold on. Even right now, remember, Luka just got Kyrie a month ago, bro.
So can I ask you
what I'm telling you is, hold on.
Hold on, Joe. Go ahead, too.
No, I'm just saying, let's be realistic. Let's say we go back 10 years. How long Aldridge's been out the league now?
He was there last year with the Nets.
All right,
2 years.
Let's say we even go back 15 years and we make 10 NBA teams. Will you pick your point guard?
Bro, see what I'm saying? Now we're not doing that. You're doing too much right now.
We pushing the goalposts.
Thank you. We're
moving the goalposts.
That nigga LaMarcus Aldridge mad props. That nigga's a bum.
No, listen to me.
That's all.
Listen. Hold on. 2, I agree with what you're saying about LaMarcus Aldridge's overall career. But when Dame Lillard was 22, 23, and 24, he played with him. Luka did not. And Luka was making the playoffs and doing these things with not a player of that. You don't listen to me. You don't have to like Aldridge. You're right. You're right about him. But this man still was an All-NBA player. Luka just got one in Kyrie last month. And he's been in Dallas for 5 years. And he made a Western Conference Finals with none of that.
Okay, listen. When the organization still thought LaMarcus Aldridge was the best player, once they got rid of him and understood who was the best player, did Portland not start taking off?
Taking off how? They're the same. It's the same.
They never made the West. They made the West Conference Finals with Aldridge.
Wasn't he there with him? Okay.
Aldridge.
Hold on. But who did he have? He had CJ. And did CJ make any All-Star teams?
Why are we naming CJ?
Nah, he didn't.
Because
CJ has no accolades. He has most improved. He has most improved.
He has no accolades. But go look at that playoff run when they made the Western Conference Finals. Dame was playing bad. CJ stepped up for Dame, and they got swept.
Listen, I'm not taking that away. Yeah, I'm not taking that away from CJ. CJ's tough. What I'm saying is, once LaMarcus Aldridge left, Dame Lillard started becoming Dame Lillard.
Okay, but he still had more talent than Luka.
I disagree.
Around him. Raymond, do you think Luka had the same amount of talent up? He didn't. No, he did not.
All right.
Luka had way less talent, bro.
Okay. Listen, we can leave it at that.
We got Kyle Kluber, son. We got Kleber.
You got Kleber.
We got the all-white everything.
You got a dude named
bro.
Kleber. That's crazy.
Come on, bro.
Your man said he want Porzingis back, man.
Bro, stop it.
Who said that?
Luka said that.
When he's like when did Luka say he needed help? Because I don't recall this. When did Woj break this story? Luka needs help.
No, Luka.
I've never heard Luka say anything.
That's why they traded for Kyrie.
They traded for Kyrie to see, like you said, to win a championship. Luka needs help.
Hey, bro,
right? But they want to see if he can play with somebody. It don't have to be a superstar or a star.
Watch this. Next Monday, I'm gonna Google. You can Google, and I'm gonna show you. Luka went to the organization.
Why you can't do it now? Why I got to be a week from now?
Because the show's ending. The show's ending.
We got to end it like that. Nah, give the people.
Yeah, man. To be continued, man. TBC, baby. So, that was the first episode. Wyld Bunch. 2 Knicks in the Met. You want to end this off, Joe?
Nah, I'm not ending it off. Me and him just had our. But we got to listen to what Raymond agreed, because he's the other person that's going to.
Oh, no, I think 2 is bugging. It's not even close. That's
okay.
Luka is more dominant. He gets rebounds. It's not close to me. It's not close. Luka's a prime time all-star.
Listen, if I was talking about somebody else too, and it's not just because Luka's on my team, Luka is different. Okay. When they was in that bubble, and I saw what he was doing to Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and Marcus Morris and Patrick Beverly giving these niggas 40, I said that dude different, because he didn't look scared.
Hey,
I think the last word too.
Hey, last word. In your words, Rozay, if they slide to that 7th, 8th seed,
they trash.
Bro, I'm not. Yo, it's a Wyld Bunch first episode.
I'm being honest.